I don't know. He hasn't been playing for most of the time yet, so I don't know.
I wake up to the sounds of the silence that allows for my mind to run around with my ear up to the ground. I'm searching to behold the stories that I told when my back is to the world. Was smiling when I turned. Just
I tried to the top, I've been out of shape, thinking out the box, I'm an astronaut. I'm blasted off the planet, rocking cause catastrophe, and it matters more because I had it now. I had a part of my freaking had to go in a position, kinda shocking, they run static with precision. I'm automatic, quarterback, and
Death Star. What is good, Raider Nation? Welcome back to yet another episode of Raiders Live News Talk. I'm joined by my friends Dustin, Sergio, Cortez, and Rudy. As always, say what's up, everybody.
Salute, Raider Nation.
Salute,
guys.
Raider Nation.
Hey, Dustin. One thing before we start, Holly told me that she's sorry to miss the show, but she's doing a show right now.
Nice. Heck yeah, appreciate everybody that showed up in the chat and on the panel. Appreciate all you guys week in and week out, man. Thank you very much.
Facts. Yeah, as Dustin said, thank you to everyone for joining us tonight. As always, thank you to the members of this panel for joining us. Thank you to the mods in the chat for holding it down. We wouldn't be able to do the show without you guys, as always. And last but not least, thank you to our viewers for watching and commenting along with us as we begin this broadcast. We got another great one for you guys. As always, just a quick reminder before we get started, our friend Cortez has just posted all of the various links to all of our various platforms in the comments section. I believe he's posted all of the links that are essential to us and what we do, as well as links to our fellow YouTuber friends. So as far as we're concerned, the 4 big links that you should definitely go out of your way to check out is our YouTube channel, the Death Star Report YouTube channel. That link is in there. If you could like this video, subscribe to this channel, comment on this video, and turn on the notification bell for our channel, that would be amazing. Our second link is going to be our Twitch channel, the Death Star Report Twitch channel. If you could follow us on there, that would be dope. Our third link is going to be our Instagram, Death Star Report on Instagram. If you could follow us there, give us some likes, maybe share some of our posts, that would be awesome as well. And last but not least, our fourth and final link is going to be our Discord. There should be a link in the comment section for that as well. We'd really like for you guys to check that out, especially because we really consider our Discord community the heart of what we do here at DSR. So, like I said, if you could check out that link and join us, that would mean the world to us, just because it is a great community. We have a whole bunch of stuff going on in there. We have YouTube videos, we have a Raiders chat, we have a general chat where we talk about life. We have an NFL chat, NBA chat, MLB, NHL, talk about all different kinds of sports. We have fantasy leagues, both NBA and NFL. We have free giveaways. We have movie nights sometimes. So like I said, we have a whole bunch of great stuff going on in there. We'd love for you guys to join it. Obviously, joining the Discord community is free, so there's no reason not to join it, especially if you're a Raider fan. We'd love to have you guys in there, and it would be a big help to us. And last but not least, most importantly, coming up at the end of this week for the NFL draft, we're going to be having a draft party inside our Discord. We're going to be live streaming the draft, and we're all going to be, talking about it and rooting for our team, the Raiders, obviously, to make, all the picks that, can really help and turn this franchise around. So we'd love for you guys to join us for that draft party. That should be Thursday, April 27th, right, Dustin?
Yep, April 27th. Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Yeah, so like I said, join us for the draft party on that date. The best way to keep in touch, to keep up to date with updates on that draft party, is to join our Discord. So, like I said, if you could follow us, check out that Discord.
Hey, Cortez.
Is he here? He's not here.
Drop that. Find somebody. Drop that. Cortez. Drop the Discord link so John can see it. It's just a platform like frickin'. It's just a private platform where people go, and we got our own place where we all go and talk and sit in there, John. So I don't know what's a remote, like its own Facebook, I guess. Like I don't know. Like it's its own private group, man. So we have our own private group. It has nothing but like Raider content, all kind of stuff in there. Like Jeff was just saying. I mean, I built that thing over the last year. We got all kind of shit in that thing, dude. And I always try to tell people in our Discord, man, we have no trolls, man. Like that shit doesn't go on in there. I have bots, I have people. That shit's monitored to the T, dude. Like I've always said, feel free to talk football and combat in there, but there ain't no trolling up in that shit. So that shit's pretty locked down. It's a really good place, I think. So like I said, you can check it out right there, and salute Lunatic and salute Took Your Soul or Souls. Appreciate you all being here. And salute John.
What's good, bro? John, what's good? Discord's right there. It's up in the chat now. It was all the way. It's the first one all the way up top, but that's too far to go up.
But I always say, just check it out, man. Give it a try. If it ain't for you, leave. It's always there for anybody to go there. Like Jeff just said, it's free. I mean, spend a lot of time building it. It's a lot of good things in there. Like I said, we do movie nights, where we watch actual brand new movies that come from the movie theaters on HD, everything like high def channels. Like we watch them all, dude. I mean, we're not just watching. We'll watch old movies. We put votes in the Discord. People will vote on it, and then we'll watch them on that week, whatever Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whatever people got off. So, and we do all kinds of shit. But outside of that, go back, Jeff.
Oh, that's good, John.
Yeah. So as Dustin just said, for those of you who don't know what exactly a Discord is, it's basically, as Dustin said, sort of like a private Facebook group, except because it's like its own app altogether. It has a whole bunch of different features. Like I said, you can live stream like we're going to do for the draft. In there, there's a whole bunch of different channels inside the server, which allows us to post links to many different things. So it becomes like a very multifaceted community, but it's very much like a private Facebook group in the sense that you need an invite in order to join it. You need to be accepted into it. But like I said, we'd love to have as many people as possible. It is a wonderful community. We got a whole bunch of stuff going on in there. So like I said, our friend Cortez is going to put a link to that Discord in the comment section for you guys to check out when you get a chance. So like I said,
and just so you know too, like when he says the VC, a VC is a private voice chat. It's a private voice chat. People can join in, and then say, for instance, all of us are in there, and Jeff, for instance, he can just post up on his link where he posts up the video, and then we can watch it, and then we can all be in there without no cameras, no nothing. You can put your camera on if you want, but you don't have to have it on, and you can just sit there and watch the video. Yeah, we do it for every game, every deal. Like, we always stream everything. Boxing matches, basketball games. We stream everything in there, man.
Hey, Dustin, I just put Holly's YouTube channel, too. Let's get our sister Holly Tanner up.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. I mean, I support her. She's a good person. She's
bro, I've been supporting her. I just was right before we started, I was talking with her. She was like, "Oh, let Dustin know I won't be over there. I'm doing my own." I'm like,
Yeah,
"I'll
no,
let him
she's
know,"
cool,
but he
man.
ain't
She's
tripping.
always supported us. She's
Yeah,
a good
so
person. I
so like
like
I
to say,
told
good
her up
quality.
on her show right now. I'm like, I share all of us, Kush, everybody, Dirty, Lunatic, Gabe, all of the ones that we mess with, we drop.
Heck yeah. All right, Jeff, go back with it. Let's go.
Yeah. So, yeah, like as I was saying, if you could just check out all of our links there, the Discord in particular, as Cortez has posted them in the comment section, that would be awesome. Also, obviously, as they were just talking about, if you could follow our other YouTuber friends as well, the whole rigmarole with YouTube channels, if you could subscribe to them, like as many of their videos as possible, hit the notification bell, comment on videos if possible, that would be great. Um, that would be great for them as well. So, like I said, as far as our links are concerned, the Death Star Report YouTube channel, the Death Star Report Twitch channel, the Death Star Report Instagram, and last but not least, the DSR Discord. As far as we're concerned here at DSR, if you could check out those 4 links, which should be in the comment section now, that would be great. And then as well as the YouTube channels of our friends as well, if you could check those out, tap in with them completely as well, that would be awesome. And throughout this broadcast, we're going to be posting all those same links in the comment section, periodically throughout the night. So you'll have multiple chances to check out those links. And like I said, if you could just check, hit those URLs, navigate to those platforms, follow, subscribe, like, all the different great things to help all the different channels and platforms for us. That would be amazing. So thank you in advance to everyone for doing that. And so with all that out of the way, let's get our episode started. So first topic of the day is going to be Cortez's. And Cortez, I wanted to start off the show with this topic just because I thought your suggestion in the topic about who the Raiders could pick up at quarterback, one Aiden O'Connell out of the University of Purdue. Why you think that might be, a good decision for the Raiders to take somewhere in this draft? I mean, obviously, Aiden O'Connell, I would argue he was rather slept on throughout college football just because Purdue did have a good offense. This is a team that went to the Big Ten title game. Had a pretty darn good team overall, but didn't exactly, they're not exactly one of the blue blood programs, I would say. And so for that reason, I think for at least some people, he's going to fly under the radar. But having said that, being in an offense that at least seemed to me they made a lot of pass attempts, but it wasn't exactly high flying, high roller kind of offense. It was a lot of precision, um, you know, um, high IQ kind of passes. I do think that there could be an argument to be made for him being a good fit in this Raiders, passing and offensive philosophy. So, Cortez, why don't you get us started on this topic of yours and why you
So
think the Raiders?
For
Yeah, go
Aiden
ahead.
O'Connell, I think in long term he could be a good backup for Josh McDaniels with the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
And like if Jimmy G goes down, he could just slide right in, and I think he could beat out Hoyer for the backup position, or sit 1 year behind Hoyer, and then become the full backup to Jimmy G, and be a serviceable backup that we need if Jimmy G gets hurt, and that we had him in a couple of times already. We
Mm-hmm.
spoke with him, and I think he fits Josh McDaniels' offense. And then with Brian Hoyer on there, just sitting as a coach, technically could just help him thrive through this offense, and maybe eventually down the line he could become the starter when Jimmy G's done. And
Right.
I
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I
Sorry.
have
Go ahead.
another perspective too. Stuart Swagger, right when I think he was a freshman, because he was a walk on, I think from walk on to Purdue, and he ran into Stuart Swagger. Stuart Swagger is in the Hall of Fame at Purdue. And he asked Stewart, "Oh, what should I do to get better?" He's like, "Just be yourself and just eventually." And I think Stewart said that he was the 8th quarterback on the depth chart
Mm-hmm.
and made his way up to becoming the starter at Purdue. That he worked his butt off. So I
Mm-hmm.
think eventually he could become a good starter in the NFL.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, obviously, I mean, looking at his stats right now, Aiden O'Connell, he was, almost 3,500 yards passing, 22 touchdowns with 13 interceptions. Took somewhat of a step back from his junior year, his third campaign in college at Purdue. Compared to 3,700 yards passing, 28 touchdowns to 11 interceptions. So statistically at least not exactly trending in the right way. But like I said, if you take a step back and look at the macro, really, he still led the team to a Big Ten title game. So I think there is some leadership there. Like I said, it seemed to me what I saw out of his game is, a lot of passing attempts, but not exactly an air raid kind of an offense. Which when you think about the way in which the Raiders, especially throughout this offseason, have decided to retool and reconstruct their roster offensively, especially the passing attack is going to be built for that, right? I mean, we're talking about two tight ends, so a lot of high percentage passing there. You have a guy like Jacoby Myers who's going to work out of the slot. So a lot of relatively high
And the
percentage.
thing going back to how the quarterback plays, it's
Mhm.
gonna be the quarterback's gonna make the receiver earn yardage.
Wait, hey,
He's
Jeff.
not. It's not. Josh McDaniels' offense isn't for us to throw deep. It's for the quarterback to give the receiver the option to make yards after catch, get the yak yards, and that helps the right receiver gain like confidence in what they got to do because they got to prove that they're so the quarterback could go back to them. You guys understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Wait, but Jeff, what topic are we on right now?
We're on the Aiden O'Connell.
Oh,
Right.
okay. All right, I'm gonna be back on in like 20 minutes. I'm just gonna hop off, do something real quick, and I'll be back on.
Yeah. So Sergio, what's your opinion on what I said?
I do like him. He is I think he would be if he was drafted by any team, like a very solid QB2. And he did put up really good stats, and he didn't have like any like shining receivers. Like the only dude I can think of is like Charlie Jones. But even Charlie Jones, I think he's projected to be like a 5th round pick or something. And personally, it seems like it might be something that might happen because a lot of mock drafts, even the last live we had, like the mock draft just kept picking Aiden O'Connell like 20 times. And it seems to be something that a lot of other Raider content creators agree on. It kind of seems like Aiden O'Connell might be the late round QB that this team might pick up. I wouldn't be surprised if they did it. And I wouldn't argue against it much. Because he seems to be like a good developing quarterback. Why can't I say that word? Developing mental piece for the backup position.
And like I just said, Sergio, let him be the long, like not all the way long. Just let him be the backup to Jimmy G for like how many yards or how many years Jimmy G's gonna be here. And if Jimmy G goes down, at least we got a quarterback that's come out of college fresh and knows the system. Doesn't have to go through different coaches staff to learn the system. He's already coming.
And when you were talking about Stu, a little similar thing that I was learning too is that Connell was basically in a very similar, and I think you said a little bit too, Cortez. He's in a very similar system that McDaniels runs in his offense, where they value the backs to do most of the work, but they have, when it comes to the passing game, they want the receivers to just get the yards rather than try to risk and deep throws.
Yeah, bro, and that's what Josh McDaniels' offense is all about. The quarterback giving the receiver or running backs the opportunity to make yards after the catch.
Yeah, exactly. And just sort of going back to the stats with Aiden O'Connell. Unfortunately, there are some troubling metrics here. So, for example, O'Connell attempted 59 more passes, so 59 more pass attempts in this past year than in 2021, but only completed 5 more passes. and his completion percentage dipped from 71.6 in 2021 to 64.1. So we are seeing, unfortunately, in a lot of ways, a step back from what he was in 2021. And unfortunately, it's not as if the offense was changed where you could say,
He
well,
lost a
completion
big
percentage.
receiver though. Wasn't it Bell?
Yeah, Bell. He did. Yeah, I believe.
Yeah,
Was it Bell?
David Bell was his name, I believe.
Yeah.
Was his 2-goal receiver. But
Right.
they
Yeah.
still, with him having a kind of down year, they still made it to the Big Ten. And didn't they
Right.
win the Big
Exactly.
Ten?
Sorry. Wait. One more time.
Did they win the Big Ten or no?
No, they lost. So unfortunately, so that sort of needs an asterisk as well because with the Big Ten, as with all conferences in college football, you have these two divisions, and a lot of times one division is significantly weaker than the other. So honestly, all things being fair, you really should have had an Ohio State versus Michigan rematch if we're talking about the Big Ten title game, but they're both the same division. So basically, Purdue has been for a little while now the best of a weak division in that conference. So they did go to the Big Ten. They had a good year still. I believe they're still like a 9 or 10 win team. They still went to the Big Ten title game, but they were not up to the caliber of Michigan.
I prefer. Let me say this: I prefer O'Connell over Richardson any day of the week.
Well, yeah, and that's sort of the question. I mean, that's tough to say. I mean, obviously
O'Connell's going to be in like round 3 and 5, and someone's going to take Richardson in like round 1 or 2.
Yeah, that's going to be a horrible. Yeah, that's how I feel about O'Connell. And I know it's Dustin's boy now.
That ain't my boy. I just say that he's all right. My boy is Max Duggan. That's not changing. So
yeah, I mean, when it comes to Richardson and Connell, Connell might be. He's obviously having.
Connell's not even that good. His stats are falsified, just like Jeff pointed out. Man, the guy's got good deal. Can he be good developmental? But Chase Garbers is just as good. So why would you draft him? I wouldn't do it. So for me, I wouldn't draft him.
No,
I would pass. I've said there's people in there, dude, that are in the later rounds that are going to be really good, dude. I mean, there are a lot of good people in there in those later rounds that have a lot of potential in quarterback to sit on there and be developed over time. So I wouldn't be aiming for, like I said, a lot of people, like he just said in the chat about Stroud's test. Like, people are going to throw shit out there like that, dude, and they're going to sit and say all this stuff. He's not making it past the Colts, dude. Just can't see it. Someone's going to trade to 3 and get that motherfucker. Like, he's not going nowhere. I've always said this. There's a big deal they've said about that test. That test said that they've claimed that people that's had a low test on there haven't gone on and done shit. But they've also said that people that's had high IQ tests on there haven't done shit either. So there's really no validation to that test that if you score high or low that you're going to be good, dude. And a lot of people are going to throw a lot of smoke screens out there right now. There's one thing that test ain't going to, just like Ziegler said, we don't even go by it. We haven't gone by it for years, and we do other tests. Stroud's thrown 40. Listen, just to put this into perspective, okay? In 2 years, Stroud has thrown for 8,000 fucking yards, 82 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. Anthony Richardson in 1 year has got 2,500, 17 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. All right, this motherfucker is smoking them by a mile, by an excessive long mile. So there's no debating those type of things. That shit does not change, dude. So when I'm sitting here looking at it, to me, I don't see Stroud falling out. Someone's going to trade the 3, dude. Somebody's going to get him. I've said it. We can just probably count them out, dude, because everybody talking about, the Raiders are going to trade up there. I mean, the only way we're trading there, I feel at this point, is if Arizona's intrigued on trade talk, because Ziegler's already showed you with the Bears that he's not going to give up that type of capital to get up there to get that pick. So if the third pick is going to be just as valuable as the first pick, why would he all of a sudden now change his mind? I don't see him changing his mind. I think we stay pat at 7, and we're going to see what happens there, because I've said you can wait till later rounds. You can pick up other quarterbacks, dude. There are multiple quarterbacks in this draft that you can get in the anywhere between 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, sit them and hope for the best. Like, that's what you're doing at that point anyways. You're just hoping for the best. Any guy that gets developed right can be a good quarterback. So I think at that point, I think you just got to go with who fits you, who's best for your system, who's best for what you're doing. And I think when you're trying to alter picks, like him at certain points, I've even said, like, I've done over 30 draft mocks just over the last day or so, just so I can project a lot of people, where I've done even just simulated drafts just to see where certain people,
I've done a bunch of simulated drafts
where a lot of people are going to fall all the time. And like I said, he fell over there one time. He fell in there one damn time in that third round, dude. So I just don't see it. It's more likely that you're gonna get fucking, like, what's that guy's
John,
name?
Jacobs, I don't think Jacobs is gonna go nowhere.
Turner, you're gonna get, or Toon, is it Toon or Turner? The dude from
Houston.
Yeah, Houston. Fucking
Toon.
Yeah, Toon. I mean, like I said, there's multiple people. Like I've even said, Max Duggan. I think he's gonna be the fucking steal in that later part. So why would we sacrifice a pick in the earlier part just for a dude that's a backup, dude? Like, that's what I'm trying to say is like, why are we picking a dude at the third round to be a backup quarterback? And that's what they've said, and that's how he started it, was to be a backup behind Jimmy. Like, when you're looking at dudes like fucking Max Duggan, you're going to sit there for a year behind him, and then he's probably going to take that job. Like he's not going to sit behind that motherfucker as a backup, you know? And if, again...
Hey, Dustin, I feel like Dave Ziegler wants a quarterback to compete against Jimmy G if he could get one.
I think he's going to let it go. The draft fall to him, like he said. He wants 12 players. He wants 12 players that can play. He wants them to contribute. So for me, I think like he's going to let the draft fall the way it is. He's going to add a player there to compete with them. But I keep saying this over and over, dude. Even if a quarterback gets picked in this draft, he better know the system pretty well, because Chase Garber is going to know it pretty fucking well. So if somebody goes down, the odds are it's going to go to him, unless one of these guys coming in can prove that they know it better than him. He has a year in the system in the NFL. He's not sitting over there reading it from a book saying like, yeah, I think I know. He fucking knows. So I keep trying to tell people this. Like, I don't care who that backup is. He better know that motherfucker better than him. So, and Hoyer knows it. He knows it the best, I think. But
hey, yeah. Dustin, I'm just going to say this regarding Jacobs. He will be back.
I like it, but I don't know.
He will be back. He's not going to sit out. He's going to sign that eventually. They're going to work out a deal. He'll be there before camp starts.
I'm going to say it's just 50-50.
Because there's
that's all I'm saying.
Let me say this. I don't know if you guys all know who Hundo Carpenter is. Dustin knows who he is. Do you know who he is, Rudy?
Nope.
If you go look at Raider Kush on YouTube, he had an interview with them, and they brought up a question about Jacobs. Hundo Carpenter's a beat writer for the Raiders, and like he said that Jacobs will be there. There's no way that they're gonna trade him.
Well, I would like them not to trade him, but because they don't have a running back on this roster that's better than him, or they can take his place.
Rudy, let's not get into it. We're on this quarter. What's your opinion with the quarterback I just talked about?
I agree with Dustin. I don't think we'd take him. I think that he'd be just like Chase Garber. It would be a waste of a pick unless you release Chase Garber, and then that would be
Chase Garber's to go back to the practice squad. You don't have to.
They're not going to have two. If they're going to put him on practice squad regardless. This guy would be a practice squad guy. He wouldn't take Hoyer's place. I mean, maybe within 2 years, maybe, if that's if. You don't know. We don't know if he'll fit the system or not. Josh McDaniels has a very complicated system, and it's not easy for young quarterbacks to learn. You know, even veterans had trouble with his system, you know. And it's not just the quarterbacks, it's everybody. You know, he has a very complicated system. So they don't just pick it up just like that. It takes time. You have to be.
Hey, Dustin,
very
you remember
patient.
what I told you earlier? Hey, did I tell you something earlier?
What
Or
was
did
it?
you tell me about it, Dustin?
What?
About fucking Dave Ziegler when he was with New England. He got
What
in
about
heated arguments with the front office when they were drafting garbage players. He would get into it with Belichick. Because Belichick was the one in charge of that.
Oh yeah, that was Patriots from the front office and former executives talking about Ziegler. Because I remember there was something where they interviewed, I think,
Former
a bunch of
executives and
executives and coaches from almost every team, but primarily the Patriot staff, about their opinions about Ziegler and McDaniels. And I wouldn't argue against it because Ziegler got into the high ranks pretty quickly for someone that went from
I have mad respect for Ziegler. I met the dude in person. He's cool guy, and was like didn't care. He would come up, talk to the fans, sign autographs, like cool general manager.
Yeah. Yeah, I got faith in Ziegler. I like
Yeah,
Ziegler.
bro. I have had faith in Ziegler and Josh since day one, since both of them got the job.
Like, we can have any opinion about McDaniels, but I kind of fully trust Ziegler.
Oh yeah, Jeff, didn't you just hear what I said about Ziegler? I don't
What
know
did
if
you
you
say about
heard
Ziegler?
about it. About that he would get in heated argument or heated debates with the front office during draft days if they were getting garbage players and gonna get the players. Yeah. He would get
Well,
in
last year?
No, when he was in New England. Some
Oh.
executives were talking about that.
Who did he yell at?
He would yell at like the main people on draft
The
day.
scouts?
No, like Belichick.
Yeah, well, look. I mean, this is this is a huge draft for both McDaniels and Ziegler. I mean, this is going to be their first draft with the Raiders, starting with a first round and a second round pick for that matter. So really, there are no more excuses because last year you could say, well, they started from the third round, they did what they could.
But they have done, like
So
in my opinion, they
say
have
this
done
real
more
quick,
than
man.
freaking John Gruden and Mike Mayock. Both
People-
of them combined.
People have to remember if they trade for Josh, they got to give up 2 first rounds, man. So people think like they're just going to trade off Josh. If you trade Josh or somebody wants Josh, one, they got to offer him a contract, then we got to deny it, then they're going to fucking accept it. And then they got to give up 2 first round picks for Josh. Like, they don't just get to give up 1 first round. They got to give up 2 first rounds. And then otherwise, they got to get Josh to sign the tender tag. And then if Josh signs the tender tag, then they can make a trade with somebody else and they can work out this shit that way. But if Josh don't sign that shit, they can't fucking trade him. So people got to understand that it's not going to be as easy as they think to trade Josh. One, Josh is going to want to go to that team to sign that shit to begin with. And then if he does sign it, then they can work out the deal because they would probably put him on the franchise tag at that point. But people have to remember he's on the non-exclusive tag right now. And him being on the non-exclusive means that if somebody is to offer a contract and we are not to match it, then they have to give up 2 first-round picks to get him.
Yeah. No team's going to give up 2 first-round picks for any running back, even though Josh Jacobs is the best running back. But they're not. No team's going to do that, though. not for any running back. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean the deal with Jacobs is if you're going to trade him, or for that matter, if the team's going to offer him a contract, and then because of the non-exclusive tag, have to forfeit some kind of capital in return. The idea is to just get something out of him, right? Because we already have a bunch of draft picks. Especially if you're thinking of moving up, you could replenish picks you'd have in a trade. You'd give up in a trade to trade up. Or other assets, you replenish what you give up in that situation with the trade of Josh Jacobs. And once again, I'm sure a lot of Raider Nation would hate to hear me say this now, but even a trade of Hunter Renfrow is by no means off the table. And you have to see
from Hondo Carpenter, what I got this morning, they've been listening to calls, but they're not. If it's the best deal, if it's a good deal, they're going to trade him. If not, they're going to want quite a bit for him. Yeah. And if they don't get what they want, then he's not going to get traded.
Right,
I don't think a team's going to get between a second and a third round pick for Hunter Renfrow. That's what I'm thinking. Because he's a slot receiver. He had a great year the year before, but last year he didn't do too great. So they're not going to risk giving I don't think they'll give him a second round, maybe a late second round or an early third round, maybe. Just because of the fact that he's been injured.
So it's totally different with Jacobs.
No, I'm saying that with Renfrow, not.
No, I'm reading the comments.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, John Leon, thank you for the comment. So as Cortez is saying, so basically the Raiders placed on him what's called the non-exclusive franchise tag, which essentially means that if any team is able to make an offer to him, Jacobs is allowed to talk to other teams. But if they do make him an official offer, and Jacobs accepts, in order for that deal to go through, the whatever team that is has to give up draft capital in exchange for it. It's the same exact situation as Lamar Jackson. So basically, it's the same exact situation in the sense that, it's a tough situation as far as wanting to get acquired Jacobs in that way. If you're another team, it would make a lot more sense as far as the price for him, as Rudy just mentioned. It would make a lot more sense to just go through a more conventional trade. The other sort of wrinkle to this, if I'm not mistaken,
the only way you can trade Josh is if he signs the franchise tag. It's the only way. Josh cannot be traded to anybody, and if Josh is on the exclusive tag, you can't trade him because he's not signed his tag, so you cannot trade him. The only way Josh can be traded is if Josh signs the franchise tag. If he signs the franchise tag, we can trade the fucking guy. Until then, you can't trade him. And there's no offering to trade. There's no saying nothing. Like, the only way it works is, like I said, is if they say they want to go with Arizona, and Arizona and the Raiders agree that they'll sign the franchise tag and give them the 10.8. But they're going to talk to Josh, and Josh is going to say, like, okay, I'll sign that tag, but I want a new contract when I go over there. So they better get ready that I'll sign that tag, but I also want the fucking new contract. So before he even leaves here, because he'll probably deny that fucking trade if it doesn't and not show up over there, and they'll probably have to work out a contract and go. But he has to sign the franchise tag in order for any of that to even take place at all, period. So any tag he's on right now cannot be any trade. Can't offer him, can't get anything, can't do shit. They either offer the contract, we deny it, they pay it, they give us 2 picks. Otherwise, he signs the franchise tag, and then we can offer a trade just like they did Devontae.
Right, exactly. I was just thinking of that same situation.
Yep, the same type of deal with Devontae.
Right. So part of the arrangement with the Devontae Adams trade last offseason was that he wanted to be extended upon being traded. So immediately after trading for him, the Raiders signed him to that huge extension. as we all know. So it could be the very, very same thing with Josh Jacobs. In fact, I would expect that to be the case because, especially in the case of a running back who just came off not only his best year, but the best year the best performances out of any running back this past year, having won the rushing title. You're going to want to get paid when you can. So like I said, I mean the motivation is there for Jacobs, to get paid, to get a big contract one way or the other. If contract talks have really gone that far south, as far as the Raiders are concerned, regardless,
the team has to give up 2 first-round picks for him. Regardless.
Well, yeah. So John Leon. So going back to your responding to this comment as well. Yeah, I mean, technically speaking, the biggest sort of wrinkle to the biggest problem right now is that technically speaking, Josh is not under contract. He's a free agent because he doesn't have a contract because he didn't sign the franchise tag. He is not. So a team can assign.
And we have him on the non-exclusive tag, so that if another team talks to him, we don't lose him. So they can't just take him. Look at it like this, man. If Josh don't sign that tag by July 17th, Josh sits his ass out the whole year. That's what's going to happen until they're in the next year. Then they can talk about a contract again. But for the tag that they got on Josh, he can't go nowhere. And you say, but what I'm saying is the other team don't have to give up 2. Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
100%.
If they don't have this,
if a team wants Josh right now, they got to give him a contract and give us 2 first rounds.
And plus,
and unless we sign the franchise tag, so if we get him to sign the franchise tag, then yes, you're right. They don't have to give up 2 first, but he has to sign the franchise tag first before you can even start talking to another team in trade talks to begin with. So hopefully that answers the question.
Yeah. What's the next topic, Jeff?
Yeah. So moving right along. Let's see.
Is the 144 pick is the first pick in the 144 is the first pick in the 5th round?
Let me go check. I'll go do a mock real quick.
Okay, so why don't we sort of it's the same basic topic, but when we sort of segue into a slightly different fold to this. Rudy, this is going to be your topic if you want to get us started on what you think the RB, the running back rotation or the scheme, depth chart sort of a situation is going to be heading into this year for the Raiders. Do you think Zamir White is going to...
What was it, 41?
141. 141 and 144 is the first and second picks in the 5th round?
No, it's... In the 5th round, it's 5th.
144, 141, 144, and 170.
141 is the 5th pick.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And then the other one's the 8th. Pick 144 is the 8th pick.
It's the 5th round.
Yeah,
is what I'm saying.
Round. Yeah.
All right, what are we guys talking about?
Oh, the running back rotation scheme for this season. And
all right, go.
All right, I was going to say, Josh McDaniels has been wanting to use the 4 running back rotation situation, which didn't work last year. But if Josh Jacobs is back, if they can improve the other running backs, which includes Zamir White, and even if McCormick comes back because he was injured, so he couldn't, and then Britton Brown, if they can see how they do, it depends on how they do in the preseason. I think, in my opinion, if they play better, I think Britton Brown and Zamir White did look pretty good in the preseason. But then when you're in the regular season, Zamir White looked like trash. There's a few good plays he did, but, it's about someone's going to either step up or someone's going to really step down. I think the running back coaches need to make some improvements in this running back rotation, because, like I said, the running back rotation is primarily the fault of the head coach. It's up to his staff that he has trust in. If they're not doing what Josh McDaniels is doing, then, it's not looking good. And if you get rid of like Josh Jacobs, it gets even worse, because we were ranked 14th in rushing and we had the number 1 running back in the NFL. If they can improve, that rushing to like within the ones, like maybe between 1 and maybe 8 in the rushing, that would provide better protection for the quarterback in the passing game, because the running game does dictate the passing game too. In pass protection, the O-line block better when there's a good run block. Good run blocking leads to tiring out defensive linemen and linebackers. They get banged up, wound up, and then the quarterback gets more time to throw that ball. So we'll have to see how they are going to do it. Will they make those improvements or not? And my guess is we'll see it through the preseason, or we'll get an idea of what they're going to do.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so obviously, if it is true that they're going to move on one way or another from Josh Jacobs, there is a lot to be figured out in that running back room and what they're going to do with respect to that, because if this is going to be the kind of Josh McDaniels offense that we're used to seeing, the run game is a focal point of that, and a really important part of moving the sticks and controlling the game clock and time of possession, things of that nature. So having said that, the bigger question becomes, can they get back to should they go for talent? Should they go for a guy who they think is a safe bet as far as if he's healthy and whatnot, can really deliver you, really, be the focal point of a really good rushing attack? Or is this going to be historically what we've seen out of the Patriots, where, it seems like they just can go down to the mall and find somebody, to be a really potent, running back in this league. So, that's a great. It's system versus talent, right? That's one of the biggest sort of things, biggest debates, if you will, when it comes to the Patriots and what they've done versus traditionally how almost any other good offense has been run throughout NFL history. So, this sort of comes back to, in my opinion, once again, I guess a lot of people consider it a hot take, but drafting Bijan Robinson at 7, that to me would make a lot of sense, just because, like I said, as a rookie, rookie contract, not going to be very expensive. It's designed so that you can take a flyer on an athlete like that, on a player like that, without breaking the bank, especially if you're just going to stay put at 7. And additionally, if we're going to get more draft picks from a Josh Jacobs exchange, whether that's a trade or it's, as we were just talking about, another team decides to offer us draft picks because they make them an offer as part of the non-exclusive tag, as well as a trade of Hunter Renfrow. Even though drafting a running back first round, a lot of people are against that, especially with a top 10 pick. I just think that there's less risk involved when you have more picks like that, because it's more low risk and more high reward, because based on what we've seen out of the likes of Bijan Robinson coming out of college, the sky's the limit, I think, and I think it could really be a focal point of this offense. And I don't see a reason why you can't have talent. I know there's the whole discussion of the system, and you could have no-name guys step up in a big way through this system. But at the same time, I don't see a reason why you can't just have a talent like that work with the system, work inside the system. So, but I mean, outside of that, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, Zamir White right now, looking at the depth chart, would be the natural sort of successor to Josh Jacobs, even though he didn't get a lot of carries. You know, and also this is a guy that this regime drafted, so you could see how they might want to really see what he's made of because he is their guy, so to speak. Another guy that comes to mind is Britton Brown. Who it seemed like was a healthy scratch like pretty much every game this season. This past season, is he going to get a look? So there's a lot to figure out, but it's definitely be an interesting thing to monitor, especially through this draft. You know,
Kuntz was healthy scratch too in a lot of games too, so don't forget that either.
Who?
Kuntz, Malcolm Kuntz.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Matthew Butler, Malcolm Kuntz, frickin' Britton Brown, Neil Farrell. Numerous dudes were healthy scratches. Numerous of them all year.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So, whole bunch of things to figure out, especially from that particular position group, the running back position. What's it going to look like? And with the draft, you know, only a couple days away, we could be, you know, looking to see a lot of big changes in that regard through the draft. Sergio, was there anything you wanted to add to this topic?
With the running backs,
yeah,
it seems like it seems like we talked about with last live how Ziegler has checkmated Jacobs basically, where Jacobs is going to be here no matter what.
Right.
And if he does decide to play and he plays on the franchise tag, which that would be really good if we can get him to play on $10 million, despite the year that the production that he put. I think after that we might get rid of him if he maybe has a similar production, but if the production goes down, I'm pretty sure they're going to try to franchise tag him again, or depending how the contracts go with running backs, since a lot of the top running backs aren't getting paid similar like Jacobs, they're probably going to try to still do the cheap running back contract deal. But if Jacobs still wants to get paid, then I think that's when they're going to get rid of him, kind of like how Rudy says, like he's maybe one more season and then he's just gone after that, which is kind of how I'm seeing it. And if they can really develop this running back room with a lot of the running backs they got, Britton Brown, which I think was a monster during preseason, if Zamir White they can work with, because I'm very confused with him, and I'm very high on Sincere McCormick, I wouldn't be surprised if he beats out Britton Brown. But if they get like another running back or something in this draft, I can see them maybe at most using Jacobs for one more year and then he's gone.
Yeah. I mean, I personally don't see Jacobs. I mean, first of all, I think unfortunately the relationship has soured to the point where, you know, I don't think a deal is going to get done. So, you know, and you know, obviously there are pros and cons to letting him walk or to letting, you know, to trade him when, you know, whatever the situation ends up being. But I just think from his standpoint, you know, being, like I said, being able to get paid when you can, coming off of, you know, a year where you didn't get injured and you were the rushing king, and first team All Pro, if I'm not mistaken, as well. Just obviously, any way you cut it, the best running back in football. Especially in a contract year, you know, you got to be looking for that payday. And, you know, I honestly think there are teams that are sort of in a win now situation that, you know, wouldn't mind paying him, you know, give him, you know, maybe a championship sort of push, you know, 3, maybe 4 year window.
I can't argue with that. That could happen too. I've been thinking that if they do keep Jacobs and maybe if they have enough confidence that they can win with that Jacobs, or maybe the regime disappoints us and they have a losing record midway through the season, they'll just trade him to some team that's on that Super Bowl caliber. And we'll probably get really good draft capital out of it if they really want him, is kind of how I see where you're going at, Jeff. I wouldn't argue against that with that idea.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like I said, I can't see him being a Raider this year unless the Raiders themselves like extend him. It wouldn't make any sense to me, and I can't honestly blame him. You know, he's always going to be a Raider, and you know what he did for us this past year. I mean, he was our offense. You know, not completely, but the offense ran through him. So it's kind of an unfortunate situation. But like I said, when I think about a really sort of natural or the most natural of moves, and a guy who could very well be at his level of talent. Is a guy like Bijan Robinson, so that's why I'm just saying they could just draft him, and then whatever happens with Jacobs happens with Jacobs, and especially if you don't trade up, because you're almost certainly not going to have to trade up or move at all. Just stay put at 7 if you're going to draft Bijan Robinson. So especially if you're going to stay put, the picks that you get for Jacobs will be a plus, or whatever capital you get. You're not replenishing anything you give up to change your position in the draft. So to me, that just makes the most amount of sense. And especially when you think about, formation wise, a lot of double tight, a lot of double wide, 2 tight ends, who are going to be contributors in the blocking game, as blocking tight ends. And obviously with a quarterback like Jimmy G, who we know, can manage an offense, but he needs a good running game with, to go along with it. I just think an idea like that makes the most amount of sense. And also because we haven't really seen a lot of Zamir White, and Britton Brown to me is just a complete question mark. Like, he could be the next Barry Sanders for all I know, but we just haven't seen it. You know what I mean? So, we'll have to see, but that's why I'm just saying. Once again, I'm advocating for that idea, even though I know, like I said, it's a hot take. But with the amount of picks,
what's the 7th overall pick?
Yeah,
that's not gonna happen.
I haven't really seen anything like that. I mean, I've seen a lot of rumors like the Eagles are I think are what most draft analysts are expecting.
Yeah, Eagles or Tampa. Right. Eagles or Tampa Bay, and I think the Eagles are the 12th pick, 10th pick, 12th pick, 12th pick.
Yeah, because they still have that pick from whatever trade they did. Let me double check. But yeah,
was it with the Titans? Was that the Titans trade or no?
Yeah,
was it?
No, that wouldn't make any sense because that was.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, because they got AB in that trade. So who would they got rid of that would have gave them that first?
They have the 10th with New Orleans. Was that
With who? Who was it?
Via New Orleans. They have the 10th overall pick via New Orleans.
I wonder who they gave up. I can't remember who the fuck they gave up.
Was that C.J. Gardner-Johnson?
Is that where he went? Was to New England?
Well, he went to Philly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I was
saying. That was just the first thing that popped in my mind. Saints-Eagles trade. Why did the Eagles have
that player would have been left there, because if they got a pick in return, means the first round pick left there.
So the Eagles got the number 18 pick, the number 101, the 101st overall pick, number 237 pick, 2023 first round pick, 2024 second round pick, and the Saints got the number 16 pick, the number 19th pick, and the number 194 pick.
For what?
No, that's what the Saints got. So the Saints got 16, 19, and 194. The Eagles got 18, 101, 237, 2023 first round pick, and a 2024 first round pick. Number 19 was Northern Iowa tackle Trevor Penning. Yeah, and then so then the Eagles used the number 18 pick. They packaged the number 18th overall pick with the 101st overall pick to get AJ Brown. And then, so I guess, yeah. So they had the extra first round pick in 2023 as part of that trade, and it's one that could potentially turn out to be a top 10 selection, which it is. because the Saints weren't very good this year. So I believe that's why. So long story short, yeah, I mean, having gotten rid of, I think they're tipping their hand given that they got rid of it was Miles Sanders, correct? That they whatever running back is. I think they're making it rather obvious that that's what they're looking for, and that's another team, right? So,
and he only visited 2 teams, the Eagles and Tampa. He didn't take no other visits. He only took those 2 visits. So,
right.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I like him a lot. I like him a lot, man. I like him a lot. I've said it when he played in Texas for the last few years, even when he got the injury. What was it, the foot or the knee? It was the foot, huh? Fucking.
No, Bijan?
Yeah. But long story short, he's a great halfback, man. Like, I don't have any issue with it, but Ziegler and them have said out of their own mouth, dude, that halfbacks are replaceable, man. So I don't know if they're would take that pick on him there.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I feel like, and look, I'm not going to say they won't, and I'm not saying it's a bad pick because you make a lot of sense. If he doesn't sign the deal, you have a halfback that plays in, and he's a great halfback. I mean, then you, like you say, you're not risking the deal. For me, I just think like the corners or somebody, like we lack, man, you mean Josh is going to have fucking powerful ass offense, dude. He better be able to win fucking games. I mean, this motherfucker got every player he wanted first. So I think for me, it's kind of unfair for one, but I mean, do what they got to do. I don't care how they pick their players. I think that would be high. I mean, fuck, he has a major injury, man. Like he had I think it was his foot, dude, if I remember right. And foot injuries are very tough to come back on and not have, like, sometimes what I'm trying to say is with foot injuries, man, they put screws and shit inside there, but the way that halfbacks cut off of their feet and everything, you tend to have a broken bone later on and then have to play with that through your career. Like, I don't know if that's a good idea. And I could be wrong if his was a foot injury. It could have been ACL, but I thought he had a broken foot or something in there, is what happened to him.
Yeah, so okay. So he only played 10 games in 2021, but he played.
And he killed it. He killed it in those 10.
Yeah, I mean 5.8 yards per carry, but he got even better. Well, in 2022, 6.1 yards a carry, almost 1,600 yards. So, to me, and that's the other thing, right? Because I thought about that too. Like he had that injury. It's a running back. That was last year, and we saw this incredible bounce back campaign from him. I just, like I said, I just think on a rookie contract, albeit, what would be a top 10 contract, you can really limit or do a lot of damage control on your risk on him because, like I said, you have so many draft picks at your disposal. So if you just use that one pick on him, but then the rest of the draft, mainly draft defense, that would make sense to me. With the hope of obviously hitting on at least a couple, 3-4 guys. I think that would be the risk reward there. Because a running back, a really good one, can really be the focal point of your offense. I mean, corners are important, but I think as we mentioned maybe last week or something, there are some, pretty highly picked cornerbacks that don't turn out well at all, and that's really a swing and a miss. Obviously Jeff Okudah, who just got shipped from Detroit, the team that drafted him, he comes to mind. Even this organization itself, with Damon Arnett and Trayvon Mullen, those didn't work out. Those were swings and misses. So, to me,
also another name I want to add in there is Garyon Conley as well.
Yeah, but then you can sit and say Sartain and fucking PS2 fucking. There's numerous guys that it goes both ways, man. So I mean, yes, is there hits and fails? Yes, but there's also success too, and there's a lot of corners that's been taken in the first round over the last few years that have a high success rate in there. So and just because Akudo don't make it, I mean, I picked that dude not to make it that same year anyway, so I already knew that fool wasn't going to do that shit. So,
yeah.
like I said, I mean, I agree, but I think, like I said, I think people are going to succeed and fail multiple either way.
But yeah, no,
Hey,
I
Jeff,
totally
I'm
get
gonna
that.
drop that right now.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Cortez. No, I totally get what you're saying. Like, you know, and any position, right? Whatever position is, there are as many busts as there are, you know, incredible talent. So, I mean, yeah, you can go back and forth with that all day long. What I am saying though is that while we're still talking about, you know, risk versus reward, because we never exactly know what we're going to get, it's all a gamble. The added sort of upside to Bijan as opposed to a cornerback is that just because of his position, he really could be the focal point of an offense that already proved last year that
Wasn't his injury was a foot injury, was it not? Did he not break his foot?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, those are fucking major injuries. If it's a foot injury, dude, that's a major injury, man.
Is that for
I've
BJ
said it.
Robinson?
There's a lot of people. It's an ACL or foot injury. I know it was one of the.
What for BJ?
Yeah, in college last year.
I think it was his foot.
And that's all I'm trying to say is there's been a lot of players that's said this over the years that even having broken bones in their foot, they had surgeries done and bolts and all, and the way that they cut and move on their feet all the time, that sometimes the bone re-breaks, and then they get stuck with that fucker doing that the whole time. So they're just dealing with the pain is basically what I'm trying to say. And all I'm saying is like, that's a pretty big deal if you're picking a dude at that position in the 7th. I mean, what happens? He goes out in the first fucking year and sits out because of something like that. I mean, that can be a big deal, man. And I get college, but this is the NFL, man. You got men on the other side all coming after you. You're pedaling pretty hard when you're getting on dudes. All I'm saying is if it is in his foot, like I think it was, I just think you're risking yourself. I mean, that's all. And I don't care if they go to the corner or whoever they're picking. I'm just thinking like, we've talked about this with Hendon Hooker. We've talked about this with multiple players. Like you're risking taking a player off of liking him personally and then jeopardizing our chances. And listen, any player can get drafted and fucking come right out and tear his shit. You don't ever know the outcome of any player's future. And I keep saying this, Zamir White had 2 ACL tears in the same knee in high school and still went on and played. But Zamir didn't do as good as people think that guy did. But again, I mean, that dude's got 800 and 700 yard season. I mean, the guy hasn't really, I mean, I get it, but that's a different story. But all I'm trying to say is that just because a player gets an injury doesn't mean that he's susceptible to it or he's going to happen again. I always think, like, you get it, you are. Like, that's just my personal opinion. I do believe, like, you will. And I'm just saying, when you're picking at the 7th pick for your future of your franchise, fuck, you're jeopardizing him for over a quarterback. And that's all. Why would you favor him when the quarterback is more needed at that position and more valuable in the offense, like for your like actual future? I mean, so for me, I don't know. I mean, that's a risky pick, man. And I'm not going to say the outcome couldn't be good. And I'm not going to say that he can go out there and not have an injury. I'm just saying he has an injury, and that's a big injury, man. And I've just said I've read a lot of books and seen a lot of people talk about ex-football players talk about broken bones in their feet and playing through the pain through their careers. So some shit just can't get fixed. No matter how much money you got or what you do, it'll keep breaking just because every time the way they're setting on it. So I don't know. I mean, I like him. He's a good player. I'd like him. If he didn't have the injury, I'd like him even more. I would just say, if you're not taking Hendon at 7, I don't think I'd take him at 7, in my personal opinion. So,
man, Hendon Hooker at 7 shouldn't even be an option.
Hendon should have been, without his ACL tear, Hendon would have been top 3 quarterback all fucking day long, if not probably 1 or 2. Like, Hendon had number 1 QBR, dude, fucking 5-year senior, dude. He has all the yards, stats, 38 touchdowns, fucking, 9-10 interceptions. I mean, he has everything. He has the run, pass. Like, like I said, he had the highest QBR in all football. I mean,
but
the guy has all the tangibles. So if he's not getting considered there, I just don't see how it'd be fair that other guy would get considered there. And all we're talking about is an injury.
I feel that outside of the injury, also his age plays a big factor. Once his 4 year is up, he's going to be hitting around age 30 because I think once the season officially starts, he'll be 26.
Yeah, he will. But let's be real. Carr stayed for 9 years. We shipped him. He's 31. So I think people take the number for a quarterback out of misconception sometimes. Just because he's young doesn't mean he's staying long, and just because he's a little older doesn't mean he's leaving sooner, you know. So I think when you're looking at what works is what works. And if you're looking at a 10-year longevity period with that quarterback, I think that's a pretty good long time, and especially if you're getting 4 Super Bowls or 2, you know what I mean? Like, it's unrealistic unless you're picking first overall or second to get a 20-year-old that's going to have that type of success. So I just think, like I said, I don't think it's realistic.
What is not realistic? Like drafting a running back? Or?
No, I'm just saying, like, when you're looking at quarterbacks and looking at the age tandem, like, just because a quarterback is 20 years old doesn't mean he's going to have a long longevity within the NFL. Yeah. I mean, and just because a quarterback comes out at 25, 26 years old doesn't mean that he's going to leave the NFL sooner. You know, 10 years, 10, 11 years is a long time. And just like I said, we just had Derek Carr for 9. He's 31 years old, and we just shipped that motherfucker. So that's all I'm trying to say is no matter how old or how young, if their time's up, their time's up regardless of where they're at. So that's all I'm trying to say is if you're looking at Hooker, the thing that you have to look at that a lot of these other guys don't have is Hooker has 5 years experience within college. He's played it at a very high level. He knows the system that Josh runs. It's almost intangible with it. That's what you're looking at. And like you guys keep on talking about is if Jimmy gets hurt, you need someone that can go in and know it. He can do that. He'll know it from the get-go. And probably by the time he gets a shot, he's probably going to know it even better. So that's all I'm trying to say is like, even at 25, he still has a very, very high ceiling. You know, his learning curve is probably faster. You know what I mean? Like, just because the age, he has a lot of different things that change that. The height, the running, how he views the field. He has a lot. And then again, like I said, he's a fifth-year option in there, or senior in college already. So that's all I'm trying to say is like, I don't care about the age, and honest to God, as long as he ain't fucking 28, 30 years old, I can care less. 25, it is old, but I still would take him if he knew the system coming out right now. So I don't think that'd be an issue. He'd be 26 hitting the floor running, dude. So you're getting him at 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. You're getting him 5 years right there. I mean, fuck, by the time he has his next contract, quarterbacks are 35. Quarterbacks are 35, 36. I mean, look at Aaron Rodgers. He got his other contract, at 35 years old? He's 37. So 36, you know what I mean? So it fits right in place. I mean, if he's getting 2 fucking contracts in his career, I mean, that's a pretty good deal. That's 10 years. So I don't think that's all I'm saying is age shouldn't matter.
Yeah, age shouldn't matter.
I mean, you guys are technically right, except I would say the big question is, well, if this guy was so good, why wasn't he in the NFL already at the age of like 21, 22. I mean, my understanding, with Stetson Bennett, for example, is that, he sort of had to wait his turn. He needed, I believe he's the oldest quarterback ever to start an SEC championship game. So, and then obviously, there's all these jokes on the internet, the long list of NFL starting QBs that are younger than he is. So,
I say like this, like Archie Manning's dad said, just because Archie will be eligible in his junior year, he said doesn't mean he's going to go there. He said he wants Archie to go to school. He wants him to experience the time of being there. He wants him to get his education. So I think it depends on who your family is and why they got you there in the first place, and things of those matters. Like, And just because people think Archie's going to be set for, what is that, 2025, I think? What is that, in 2 years from now? So it doesn't mean he's coming out. His dad's already said it in the interview straight out that he prefers his kid to sit there and experience the college time before he goes straight into the NFL. And I just think when you have luxuries like that from their family or things of those deals, but other people think the same way. They got rich families. They got fucking ways that their family
the reason why Hooker
sees it. So
with Hooker, I believe, is because he went to Virginia Tech. That's a small school, isn't it? No. Isn't that where Divine went?
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, they're.
And
like
if I'm not mistaken,
I
I think that was where Vic went too.
I don't know his whole tangibles of why. I'm just saying, like, players got their reasons. It ain't that he sucked. His stats match up as shit for 5 years. I mean,
I honestly feel like COVID year probably has a big part.
Yeah,
you know, lunatic is very true. I mean, it did give players extra year of eligibility, depending on where they were looking at to be drafted then and where they are now. I mean, frickin' 100%. I mean, I can see that 100%. Salute, Richard. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, but the real question with his age is, how would his age affect how he would come off of this?
I mean, like you said, Rodgers was 25, 26 when he saw. I mean, like I said, dude, I think it just depends on how you're looking at the player, where he's at, and what he's doing, in my opinion. So, I think if you know if you're coming out winning, what's it matter what the age is? So, I mean, I think it's irrelevant. I think what you want, what you prefer, like what we would prefer is 20. You know what I mean? Like, that's a good number for your quarterback because you're like, hey, man, I'm getting my quarterback for all these years. He's 20, 21 years old. Like, that's preferred, you know, but it doesn't mean it's going to always happen. So I just think, like, and sometimes the younger guy isn't the better guy is all I would try to say at that point. Salute, Ray. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, salute everyone coming in.
I think Stenson will be undrafted because of his public intoxication. I think that's why Stenson will go undrafted. So I think that's the reason why he'll end up. Plus, he's 5 foot and he'll get murdered because he ain't no Bryce. He can't run around like Bryce can. So that fool will get murdered, dude. Unless you got a Georgia offensive line. Bad news for Stenson over there.
Yeah, Stenson Bennett's going to get destroyed.
Yeah, and then, you know, obviously in general, yeah, or as it pertains to him specifically, there are a lot of things that count against him. You know, this guy got passed over for, you know, Justin Fields, and then it was Jake Fromm, and then JT Daniels. You know, a lot of different guys. But then when he did get his opportunity, he definitely proved it and then some. I mean, you know, brought Georgia to the mountaintop. But at the same time.
Yeah, salute, Kojo. Appreciate you, bro.
To everyone just coming in. Another element to this in general, I would also say is, you know, going back to somebody's comment a little while ago about how, you know, Rodgers was only 25 or 26. You know, it was 25 or 26 when he first started or first became a starting quarterback. Another, you know, huge component to that, I would say, is who you're playing behind. You know, who you're learning from. The 3 examples that stick into my mind are, you know, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, and Aaron Rodgers is the third one. Those 3 guys who they had to watch in front of them as a mentor, all those guys, their predecessors were pretty good. I mean, obviously, Drew Bledsoe went to a Super Bowl on his own before the Tom Brady era. That, you know, you could argue that those teams that won those Super Bowls in the early 2000s, maybe they wouldn't have had the success that they had with Brady, but they could have still been very good with Bledsoe at the helm, and he unfortunately got hurt, which, you know, started the whole legend of Tom Brady. You have Brett Favre, obviously, won a Super Bowl, 3-time MVP, if I remember correctly. That, you know, that is a high caliber guy to sit in front of. And even, you know, Alex Smith, you know, put in a lot of good seasons, not only for San Francisco going to the Super Bowl, but a lot of good seasons with Andy Reid in Kansas City as well.
And not to cut you off, Jeff, I just put in Kojo's link to YouTube.
Okay, cool. Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah. So yeah, as we've said already, you know, if you could just take a look at all these links, guys, especially our YouTuber friends, Like this video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. That'd be a huge help, not only to us, but to our fellow YouTuber friends as well. But yeah, I just think, the concern, I guess, is with every rookie quarterback, especially if you're going to make him a multi-year project who's going to sit behind someone. Not only does that younger quarterback have to bring something to the table himself, but I think a big part of it is who is he sitting behind, right? Because a lot of times, and we've seen this recently with two examples that stick in my mind on the other side of things are Justin Herbert sitting behind Tyrod Taylor, and Kenny Pickett this year sitting behind Mitch Trubisky to start the season. It gets to the point.
Learn shit from Mitch Trubisky. Like, what's he gonna learn? How to not win?
Right, exactly, and that's the point. Like, the other problem is that, like, there's no point in drafting a quarterback and sitting him if it becomes screamingly obvious that the rookie quarterback, the young guy that you drafted, is head and shoulders better. I mean, if Tyrod Taylor's lung didn't get punctured by a member of the Los Angeles Chargers medical staff, we might not know who Justin Herbert is right now. So, and obviously, to me, the Kenny Pickett situation, that was inevitable, right? I mean, Mitch Trubisky is awful, not a starting quarterback. I remember going into last year, I got in an argument with somebody about how Mitch Trubisky should start and Kenny Pickett should sit behind him. And even in the preseason, it was clear that Kenny Pickett was the best quarterback on that depth chart, and he did ultimately get the starting role. And I will say I'm biased because Kenny Pickett happens to be from my county, he's from my area. He's good friends with my uncle, so I'm rooting for him. I know I'm biased, but in that particular case, my whole point is that, when you're assessing these quarterbacks and your plan is going to be, okay, this guy's going to sit, how long before, the guy sits and he's learning from a guy who's not really, an elite or really solid, good, to above average quarterback to sit behind and really learn the tricks of the trade. So as far as this team is concerned, a guy like Jimmy G, to me, it's questionable, right? Because Jimmy G, he has proven to have some moments where he can be clutch and he can win you games, but in bulk, when you think of the season, overall, a lot of times, he hasn't been up to snuff. I mean, this past year we saw him with the, self-safety sort of a thing against the Broncos, which ended up being the reason the 49ers lost that game. As a young quarterback sitting behind a guy like that, that's not the kind of stuff you should be seeing, right? So, it's a tough.
And let's be real, Purdy, we can't say Purdy got developed behind Jimmy because Jimmy didn't even have a playbook until fucking Lance got hurt. Then they put him in, and the truth about Purdy is the quarterback coach that helped develop him in the offseason with his accuracy, because he had accuracy issues, dude, throwing the ball. And they've even suggested Lamar teaming up with that fucking coach to try to help his accuracy. And they've even talked about Richardson tagging up with that coach to try to help out his accuracy. So I'd say sometimes it could be a quarterback helping, or sometimes it's a quarterback coach developing. I mean, to me, like I keep saying, it's going to be Josh that's teaching them the system. I mean, Hoyer is going to talk the language and stuff of those factors because he knows it. But Josh is going to be telling them, like, when shit's happening in practice, you can probably see Josh go over there and say, see that? That's what you don't want to do. Fucking go back on and keep going. You know what I mean? Like, for a whole year, hearing those type of things and then hearing it in the radio of where they fuck up on the field and Josh and Jimmy are going back, he doesn't have to take the blunt of that. He's able to tune in, be able to hear it, see where he fumbles on the call, things like that. That's very good development. And
that's
I've
another reason why they decided to bring in Brian Hoyer too.
Yeah, and I've even said why I think Max Duggan's going to be our guy, man, in the 5th, because I think a lot of people think like we need somebody that's in an early round that's got to have a name or something. Like, I don't think they do. I think they need a player that knows the system, that can develop, that can sit back there, understand it, be smart, have a good IQ. They've done it with other players too, where they've taken later draft picks and turned them into good quarterbacks. So for me, I'll keep saying it. I think Max Duggan in the 5th round would be the best option for us as a sitting quarterback and developing, because at that pick, you don't lose nothing to your team. You're not hindering your franchise. You're not jeopardizing your franchise. You're going with a pick that if he pans out, that's a great pick, dude, and that's a great value to your team going forward for the next 4 years.
Let me ask you this: it's not a Tom Brady? There will not be a Tom Brady, but if they take Max Duggan, it could be something like that.
Yeah, but look, when I look at players, I don't ever compare any shit like that. Okay, I just look at what Josh can do. I look at what's good for the team. I look at what I think that they can sit for a year and develop. I keep saying this, that Hoyer and Chase would probably enter the game before our player would, and there's a lot of reasons for it. You don't want to hurt them. You don't want to take their development backwards or digress. Like I don't think you want to hinder the player at that point in time. So I think like if you're going in at the end of the year and we're winning and like say we want to sit out our player because we want to give him an early bye and you want to give him a game, that's one thing. But going out there and just murdering him out on a field where you can do that with Chase or somebody of that factor, I just can't see that happening. And again, I think like if you want to be true to what everybody's talking about, because look, let's be real, and you got to keep this scenario in mind 100%. We've talked about this on here a bunch of times about next year's draft. Okay, if we can get Caleb Williams, Drake Mays, like we're just theorizing. Like theorizing. Like that's not to be honest with you, that's like a 99% not possibility, dude. So when we're talking, we're just having conversation about who we like, what we would like to have happen. But unless we have the shittiest record in all football, we're not getting Caleb Williams, dude. Nobody's trading that fucking guy. And if they are, they're trading him for everything you own, you know? So
I know Raider fans in particular, if like the ones that are talking about, oh, we want Caleb Williams, Drake Mays, I know they definitely don't want to sign for another year and lose him because they're going to be on the fire McDaniels train once again. Yeah, they're going to be upset with the regime once again. Like this year, with all the blown games they have, I'm getting them a pass because it's their first year. Once they bring in their guys and once year 2 kicks on, it's like, okay, you guys got to prove something. Give me like 8 or 9 wins. Show me that last year was just year 1.
And this is my opinion. I'm going to say this. They're going to have a better year than it may be 2 more wins. But at least it's moving in a.
I doubt it.
And let's look at it like this. Okay? Let's say that we go with Max Duggan. I'm just saying theory. They can pick anybody. It can be Toon. It can be fucking anybody out there. It can be O'Connell. I don't care what the name. I'm just saying who I want is Duggan, right? So let's say they take Duggan. Let's say they go out throughout the year. The develop doesn't work, dude, and fucking they have to piss on him. Who cares? 5th round pick, right? Let's say that we do have a better season, and let's say we're picking between 15 and 20. They got better quarterbacks in next year's draft anyways, so we do it again. We pick another fucking guy in the later round, and we hope on it again. Listen, to just sit here and say that you're hoping Jimmy gets hurt, like, that's pretty sad, dude. Like that's pretty fucking sad. Like, the odds are Jimmy wasn't injury prone before he came to the fucking Niners. When Jimmy came to the Niners, he was injury prone 3 out of 5 years there, dude. He wasn't like that with the Patriots, dude. So to just sit and imply like that's what's going to happen here, I think that's pretty bad. Like, Jimmy's 31 years old, dude. He has a pretty good win-loss record. He's really good inside the system. For a Raider fan, you would just be hoping for the best that he's going to be here for the next 3 years. You know, like, let him play his contract because it doesn't hurt us in any means. It's just like I said. If you hit on a player like Max Duggan, he can move on sooner. If not, it still gives you the viability of getting another quarterback next year and trying it again. Like, you can't just go out there with this fucking false mind where you're false-minded and just think it's going to happen. That shit gets you in trouble. It gets you in false pretense, dude. Get your high hopes, dude, where it just falls flat on your face. Like, that's not how life is. Life isn't like that. Life is that a lot of times you're taking risk and you're hoping on the development on who I am developing you. You know, like, that's what you got to, what a lot of people are taking out of content here. Like, a lot of people think like, oh, because I can say this person's name or I can do this, that it's going to happen. No, it doesn't. It doesn't work like that. That player got to have compatibility with me to begin with. So when we're talking, he's acknowledging and he's accepting. You can't have a guy inside there that just thinks he knows and he's over there. He's demanding all these, like, you can't do that. That's not good developing. So in my opinion, like I said, I just think when you're in that position, you're able to do it two, three times, and hopefully within those 2-3 times, you can hit on a player sooner or later and be able to go forward like that. I think like when I was looking in past interviews of like Belichick and other people talking on taking quarterbacks like with the top 5 picks or things, they say like a lot of times people miss on those people to begin with, dude. Like, they actually miss on players like that in the beginning rounds and actually hit on dudes between 10 and 20, 10 and 25, you know, things of those factors. And numerous people have talked about that in deals. So, like I say, I don't know, man. Like, at the end of the day, like, I think it was John that just said it, dude. Like, yes, if Stroud fell to 7, like, it'd be very hard for me not want to take him. Stroud's the guy I want. Stroud's the quarterback that I want on our team, like 100%. I don't buy the bullshit of the Cognate test or any of that. I mean, I've said it 100 times. Ziegler's even brought it up, dude. They haven't even looked at that type of test over the last few years. They don't judge players on that. They have different tests, dude. How they evaluate players. I said Stroud just didn't change not knowing how to play football when he's throwing 8,000 yards, fucking 42 touchdowns and 12 interceptions in 2 fucking years. Like, and then we're saying that Anthony Richardson had an 89 Cognate test, but he got 17 touchdowns and 9 interceptions with 2,500 yards. Like, that don't even make no fucking sense. So they can buy whatever the fuck they want on that, but I tell you, like, other GMs are not fucking stupid. They're not going to sit there and say, oh yeah, let's look at that 18. Like, I don't give a shit what they're going to look at. And I keep saying this over and over is Ziegler and Champ Kelly been in those games, watch them with their own eyes, how he produced. Go put the Georgia tape on and watch how he produced. Like, that shit it wasn't made up. It's not fantasized. That's who he was. That's what he did out there. Fucking to sit and say, oh, he can't see. What was that game? 45-46? Like, that game was balling, bro. Like, really good fucking game. So, like I said, they can take it for whatever a fan can take it for whatever and post it on their page and talk about it. Like, but GMs ain't stupid. They're not going to sit there and be like, oh yeah, we're passing on them on that. I keep saying, like, I keep telling people, like, they can believe that shit all they want, but I promise you, someone's trading to the 3rd pick and going to get that motherfucker if Houston does not take quarterback. Like, somebody's going to 3 and getting that motherfucker. And this is why I say we're not going to get him, because it's going to be an all-out bidding war, dude. You're going to have the Falcons. You might even have the Colts wanting that. You might have Washington. You might have fucking the Titans, dude. You got multiple. You might even have Tampa Bay, dude. Like, you can just have a fucking slugfest up there, dude, of draft picks and draft capital just getting splurged on, just letting the load loose, you know, like, straight up. Like,
and then if all these quarterbacks go in like the top 4, that gives us the opportunity to at least get like the 3rd best defensive player.
Yeah, I just think I would take him, but I'll be honest with you. I've said this the whole time about Jalen Carter. I don't see him falling outside of his picks, and I don't see Stroud falling out, dude. And I'm not
I don't think
I'm not an expert analyst, man. I just know by what I see and do it. I don't work for ESPN. I don't get to go to these college games and fucking analyze every single dude and shit, but I watch a lot of games. When we talk about players, I study a lot of fucking tape. I do not just try to speak on a fucking player just to say, oh, I heard his name over here. I mean, you can see it on our show. I look up their stats. I watch their tape. I know what the hell they do. So I think there's a lot of fucking smoke out there where dudes are trying
Hey,
to say this
Dustin,
bullshit to
supposedly-
see if a dude's gonna fall, but I highly
Hey,
doubt it.
Dustin, right now, Lunatic says that there's a rumor that the Vikings are trying to move up to 2 or 3.
Hey, like I said, I just said it to any team. I don't care the name, you know, what the name. There are gonna be somebody that is gonna seek out frickin' I don't think Houston's giving up that 2 pick. I think Houston's taking Will Anderson. I've said that the whole time. I think they take Will Anderson and roll with it, unless they just said David Mills sucks ass, you know. And I've said there's no way to validate it, but I've said I think they would go defensive player at the 2nd pick, and then or the 2nd overall, and then an offensive player at the 12th pick. Because you got to remember, they still got the 12th pick right there.
They need a weapon. Like they need weapons because they got rid of.
They
Brandon
need a
Cooks.
receiver, technically.
Yep.
They need a
Yeah, but
number one
I've
receiver.
said that, did I not? I said if they went, I said on the show that if they went Will Anderson in the 2nd pick, they can go with Addison or fucking Hyatt or Johnson or anybody else at the 12th pick. I've already spoke about that on here, how they can replace that pick with them and still have Robert Woods at that second wide receiver and still have a successful team there easily. And I even said on here that David Mills has won games over there in Houston. Like, it's not like he hasn't won games. And I've even said that with Ryan's fucking defense, that he looks like he can win with Jimmy. Why couldn't he win with him? I've already spoke about it because I think that's 100% how he's looking at the Texans right now. He's a very good defensive mind, dude. He comes from the fucking Vic Fangio fucking line, and he knows his shit, dude. Like, he's a very good-minded coach, dude. So I think, like, if he gets over here and runs it how he feels he can, I think he can be successful on that team. Yeah.
Hey, listen, I'm going to ask you this. Is Denzel going to be the Mike 1? Or are they going to run a double?
Oh, you're saying over there. You're saying over there.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know their draft. They got 12 draft players. I mean, a lot of things can change when they get over there. I think his intention is most definitely to play him in the middle linebacker like he did here, or like we did here, 100%. But like I said, we don't know our team no more than they know their team until after the draft. They got 12 draft fucking players. That can change the whole outcome of how your team's sitting right now, how it looks right now, and how it can be changed by the time you're done. You can be looking at players, like I even said about the receiver with Dorsett and so on. You can go get a Moreno Copper or fucking West or somebody in those later rounds that can actually take that job of Dorsett. So just because Dorsett's sitting here right now he looks good and he looks like a secured spot, and does he know the system? Yes, he does. But inside the draft, dude, he can fucking be replaced easily in the later rounds. Like I said, Jalen Moreno Copper can replace him easily, dude. He's younger. He got great route running. He's good special teams player. What does Ziegler say all the time? Versatility. Does he not say that? He said it even in this last press conference. Versatility. The more he knows versatility, the better chance he has being here.
That's why they went out and got DeAndre Carter and all of these guys.
Yeah, because they could play multiple positions as receivers.
Yep, and also another thing I've been wanting to address about this draft class, for everyone who doesn't have faith in the Raiders this class, the Raiders already have an upper hand on scouting. Like, just as an example, our defensive coordinator, Patrick Graham, was one of the head coaches in the Senior Bowl. That gives us a huge upper hand. Yeah,
and
he
won
too.
with the Fresno State quarterback, Jake Haener.
Yep, and he did it handedly too. He didn't just win; he did it handedly.
And let's not forget, our scouts are already on to 2024 already. I sent a mock draft to Dustin. I think I traded up to get Caleb Williams.
So, John, if you're asking me, I don't think you would want that on your quarterback, in my opinion. So, for instance, like if you look at it like in Patrick Mahomes, right? They traded from, I think it was the 25th pick to the 10th pick and picked up Patrick Mahomes. They sat him the whole entire year. Yeah, they sat him the whole entire year and didn't even entertain him until coming the next. And I think he did play in the end of that season, I don't.
End of the season, I think.
Yeah, so I mean, I think for us, I don't think your intention is to have him as a 2. For me, I think your intention is that Hoyer is going to be your number 2, no doubt about it. He knows the system. That's what you want, dude. When you're in a big game and you're coming out there and you're saying like you're fighting for a playoff spot, I don't think it's the time to sit and say, like, let's hope that our rookie comes and wins. I think what you need to do is go into that game knowing that, hey, this is a veteran player. He knows the system very well. He can maintain the offense the way we need. We don't need him to put up a lot of points because our defense is obviously fucking gelling well with the offense, so we can keep it a low-scoring game. So I think you would still roll with Hoyer, in my opinion, dude. Just look back at the New England, right? Look back at New England. They had Jones, they had Cam Newton, they had Hoyer, and they had Stenham. Hoyer played when Jones and Cam went out. They didn't play Stenham, they played Hoyer. So I think in this case, for what we're doing, it's going to be Hoyer, unless Chase Garber just comes out in camp and just kicks the shit out of Hoyer. And then that's a different, and that's again something we won't know until we get to camp or see this shit yet. But unless that theory comes out, I just think like I don't think you want to get your quarterback with the intention of, oh, if Jimmy goes down, he's starting. Like Jimmy goes down, just go with the rest of the season. You're already fucked anyway. So I think that's just the case. Unless that fool's just showing something in practice that's just like, hey, this dude can start and be elite, then I think then you start him. But I think I think in my personal opinion, I think where a lot of quarterbacks fail is getting thrown into systems because of those reasons. Quarterback gets hurt, throw him in, only got a few weeks underneath it. We think he knows the system. We think he knows what he's doing. I think if you let him sit the whole entire year, get to hear it, get to see it, he doesn't have to go under all that pressure, all these things. I think that shit matters, man. So who's got a fucking weed blower fucking rolling at fucking 8:40 at night?
Me.
Do you guys hear that?
No.
I hear it.
That shit fucking me. Like that motherfucker like
It's
straight.
either
My
right.
mic's been off, so it ain't
it's-
me.
But
It's
all I'm
either at
saying
8
Let me
at
show it.
night
I'll
or
mute
it's like
myself.
at 8 in the morning. There's no in between.
all I'm trying to say is like at the end of the day, I think it's a pipe dream if you're going into later season trying to get your back up. I just think the reality is Jimmy's our quarterback. That's the reality, dude. He's won in big moments. He's won with good teams. Obviously the Niners and the Patriots. I think you can't surpass him, okay? Like you can't do that. He's the starting quarterback for a reason. He's the best player for our team. So I think you just have to roll with that. And I think that you need, if your backup that we get in the later or early round beats him, then I would say, okay, then he deserves the job. But if not, I would sit him the year and develop him. That's what I would do, in my personal opinion. Somebody's shit is going off hardcore, man. Like it's sitting there going, boom.
I don't hear anything.
It's gone now.
Oh,
It's
okay.
gone now. But it was going hell hard. The Tank Tickler 3000 fucking lunatic, I swear to God, bro. But that's all I think you got to think about when you're trying to develop your franchise to be good, to be long, like the longevity, not today, you know, like I've always said, and I've said this in the past, just pull the Band-Aid off, open the cut, clean it out, and fucking do the best that you can with it. Like, and see that shit doing it again, hard. But all I'm saying is like when you're trying to have consistency within your franchise, I think Hoyer's a good bridge player for just right here to be able to communicate. That's what it is. I've said he's an older dude that talks. It's like I think Cortez brought it up about Iguodala over there, dude. Like just having that experienced type of player, Iguodala for the Warriors, just in case nobody knows, just having him like, you know, when he's over there talking to crybaby dude with the towel over his head because he ain't playing fucking anyways, but outside of that, like I said, you got to sometimes have those type of players there. So for me, I think Hoyer would serve the purpose of just the communication, being able to say like, hey, I've seen a lot of these games in New England under Brady, under this is what they're looking at. I've been under Bill. I've been under Josh. Like all that shit matters a lot, dude. And to have the experience from him and relaying that to a person and then not putting them in the pressure, just letting them play at the end of the year, I think that would be the best for him, period, for us as a franchise, because then when he comes out, he's solid, he has that confidence, he didn't get demoralized throughout the season, and even if he goes out and has a bad game, you can still pull him out to where it's just not like, you know, a Peterman type deal. But I just think like with Josh is I've never seen Josh develop or have a quarterback on his roster where he just came out and threw fucking 5 interceptions in a game.
Yep.
So
because
all
Josh
I'm
has
saying
he has a pretty conservative scheme where you don't need to throw the ball 20 yards down the field to have success. That's why
he just wants. You know what, Brady said this in post in conferences all the time. He said, you just need receivers that can catch every ball you throw at them. He's like, if I can get you the ball every time and be accurate to throw it at them and they can catch it, then that's what. He just wants an accurate quarterback that can get you the ball 9 out of 10 or 19 out of 20. You know, like that's what he's looking at. Brady has said it a bunch of times, dude. You don't want receivers that can't catch balls and plays, because in Josh's system, that can hurt you big time not getting yards. So unless the guy's like, not every player is Devontae, you know what I mean? And you're not going to get big-ass yak yards on every single play. It's not realistic. So that shit needs to work as a system, as a unit, and everything needs to gel just right. The whole, not just one game. You're talking over, what is it, 20 now, 21 games now. So,
21.
So like I said, if you're going to a Super Bowl, so either way, that's what I think. I think we shouldn't get patient. I mean, the fact is we are rebuilding our team to fit the way that they want it to be, the way they want it to look. So just be patient with what they're doing and let them build the players and take the time to develop them. So then when they do hit the deal, like Jeff has said, you've seen Britton and you've seen all these guys inactive, right? But again, what happens if they come out and slap out 600-700 fucking yards this year as a backup? You know, like you sit there and say like Neil and fucking Matthew, and what happens if they come out and have 4 sacks on the year as a starter? You know, like I think those are pretty good deals being seasoned, and then that just shows like their developing is what, like, it works. You know what I mean? So I know a lot of people know in the past that developing doesn't work around here, because I've said it for years that the Raiders lack in being able to develop fucking any type of fucking player. I've said the only type of players that's had success in the past 20 years here is more times than not a cornerback, dude. If cornerbacks come here, dude, just with the coaching staffs that we've had over the years, most of them usually play pretty well here, dude. But outside of that, any other position, fuck, good luck with that shit, you know. Fucking till Gruden started doing what he's been doing, you've never really had that type players that's been attacking in multiple different positions now, you know, offensively and defensively. But we'll see how that goes going forward now that they've pretty much gotten rid of all of them. So.
Yeah, I mean, I would just say as far as the whole quarterback thing goes, you know, look, I mean, if Jimmy G were to go down and you have another losing season, you could arguably go back to the draft that you're approaching right now. Could somebody mute their mic or something? There's a lot of rumbling or something going down. It's okay. Anyway,
hey Jeff, I can't. My phone's dead, and I'm in the garage now.
Okay. All right, we'll figure it out. Yeah, but I mean, you know, you could arguably go back to the draft and say, well, you know, you could have picked a quarterback. Like, you know, you could have, you know, if one of them fell to you, you could have taken one. You could have prioritized one in the draft, especially with the picks that we have. So it seems to me that like the way in which they've handled the team, for better or for worse, whether you like it or not, to the point where I think their quarterback depth chart, in the very least, needs work. I think that there's there's more to life than Jimmy Garoppolo, and if he does get injured, you know, at least you'd have a future, right? You know, at least you'd have you'd have somebody waiting in the wings, someone to be excited about, and obviously as a rookie, the expectations aren't high and they shouldn't be high. But at least you have something to look forward to, right? Like you have some, and with Jimmy G's potential out after this year, if a rookie, does indeed come in and look good, you could just, go with him in the next year, right? At least there's something to build on there. Whereas, if you don't have a quarterback to go with and Jimmy G goes down, I mean, I guess you draft a quarterback in year 3, in draft number 3. So I guess that's a way of looking at it as well. So I guess it would just be a matter of, convincing Mark Davis, like, hey, I don't like any of the quarterbacks in this draft, which I understand. I myself have said I don't think this is the year of the quarterback. I like other guys next year. But all the quarterbacks that we've heard about next year, going to next year, I mean, we're talking about like 2, maybe 3. I have Caleb Williams, Drake May, and then after that, I mean, who else are we talking about here? So
Penix is in that draft. Bo Nix.
Yeah, maybe
Bo
Penix.
Nix.
Bo Nix.
Yeah, Bo Nix. Yeah, so I mean, we don't know what
I
they
think
know.
they got a lot. They got numerous, and the only thing that's gonna stop it is, and that's why I just don't speak on it right now, is you just don't know if a quarterback is gonna stay back, dude. That's the only problem. Is you think that this year that he'll come out because of where they're at, but there's nothing saying that Drake Mays is gonna come out this year. Drake Mays can
or
be a
Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams may want to stay one more year to prove
championships matter, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So, like I said, I mean, I think at some point you're going to have to draft a quarterback, and it could just be that they don't like the quarterbacks in this draft class. They might really like somebody in next year's draft class. The problem with that is that, if you're talking about drafting Caleb Williams, you're either going to have to be really, really bad, or you're going to have to trade up. So we're sort of in that same situation, and obviously the difference could very well be that they just like a guy like Caleb Williams. Now, the demand for a guy like that going into next year's draft is going to be so high that I could definitely.
It's just unrealistic. It's unrealistic. I've said there's 25 teams in the NFL next year that would probably take Caleb Williams. Like that guy there, you would have to fucking straight pull teeth, dude, to get him at the first. Like you're probably giving up like 5 first, So
yeah,
it's gonna be massive. Yeah, it's gonna be massive. It's gonna be massive.
Hey.
Well, Raiders could tank it though this year, but I don't think Josh McDowns will think about tanking until he's in the regular season. Like if they start losing, this is what I'm saying. It's up to we don't know that for a fact. So if he's not happy with how the offense is going, he could tank it. He could take it. It's a good possibility.
I ain't gonna lie, they already showed they did it this year, so I won't.
They did it. They did it with a better roster, dude. They had an opportunity, but he didn't like what was going on with the players. It was a good roster. It was just what he wasn't utilized. The guy that looked like shit was.
There wasn't even a lot of the guys on there. There was nobody on there. And John, I mean, you do make a good point about Zeppy. I mean, it is a good point that nobody knew who he was, and look at him now. I mean, they've even talked about trading fucking
Mac Jones for Bailey Zapp.
Yeah. So yeah, Zapp. I mean, like I said, a lot of shit's questionable these days anymore. So. Well, for me, I would say like I keep trying to say, like, I get hella people are interested in big names, dude. Like Ziegler and them are not gonna do that shit, dude. Like I keep trying to say, like I went through it. Okay, listen. I was one of the very first people. I probably was the first person that said in week 15 last year that we should entertain the Cardinal trade, dude. Did I not? I brought it up right on this channel. Said that we should entertain the fucking DeAndre Hopkins and trade to the 3rd pick with the fucking Arizona. I already knew where we sat. I already knew where everybody was sitting, so I entertained that trade. And what did I say for Stroud? Said it right away. Stroud would be there at the 3rd pick, all right? So that's how I started. Yeah. When we started talking about it, I said that would be the place where I would go with it. But then this is how football works. It's intelligent fucking shit. It's not just because some motherfucker talks about it, that's how it's going to be. It's not how it works in the NFL. There's a process of how this shit happens. So at that point, I was entertaining the trade. I figured, hey, that's going to be a good deal. Then all of a sudden, bam, what do you know? The Panthers hit up with the Bears, dude, and fucking trade up there. They gave up DJ Moore. They gave up 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and something else. And Ziegler already called them and entertained the trade too, and he said no. So you already know where Ziegler's draft value is to get to that pick, right? So you already know where it is. It's not going to take a fucking rocket scientist to know what he's going to be willing to give up at the 3rd fucking pick. And this is why I keep trying to tell people. So look, I said I would trade to the 3rd for Stroud. I think that'd be the best pick for us. It'd be the most of the deal. Then I sat there and thought about it for a long time and said, yeah, probably not a really good, it's not a good investment because you're giving up hella draft capital. You're going to get up there and you're going to get in a Wild West gunsling, dude. Like there's going to be multiple teams up there trying to give. You're going to try to compete. This shit can get out of hand, dude. And I really believe that because there's a lot of people up there going to want that spot. So I've said, just stay pat at 7, fucking draft a cornerback, and then let's entertain what we can do next. So then I said, okay, let's get Christian Gonzalez or Witherspoon. I prefer Gonzalez, but go Witherspoon. I don't care. A lot of people like him. I don't give a fuck what your preference is. I just say go corner because I believe one of those two are going to be a very good player for us. So then my next deal is go into the 2nd round and probably trade back into the 1st round for Hendon Hooker. I've spoke right about that. But then I started thinking about over time, and I said, yeah, I don't really know if that pick's worth it. You're going to give up a lot of draft capital again to get out of that 2nd round to get back into that 1st round. You pick up Hendon, so you're losing later draft value. So I said, I don't think that's a good deal because here we go again. You can get linebacker, you can get edge, you can get D tackle, you can bring Breeze, you can bring Jack Campbell. You can bring numerous people on that 2nd round that bring up higher value now, higher value now to the team than what Hendon Hooker would do. So then you go into the 3rd round, and then you're sitting there entertaining a pick in the 3rd round now because now Hendon Hooker's off the board because you've solidified player of need inside the team. So this is why I keep saying that a quarterback is not probably going to get picked until into the later round because why would you jeopardize your draft value for position of need versus a player that's not starting right fucking now? He's not starting, dude. He's not starting. Jimmy's starting. Like, that's fact, dude. So unless this fucking guy just shows up and God and just beats him out, like he's not starting. Jimmy knows the system. Jimmy was brought here to try to go to that Super Bowl. Like he knows the system the best. So whoever we draft is not starting, man.
This is my opinion again. I could see the Raiders drafting Henley as their linebacker because they like how he could go to sideline, and maybe he could be that linebacker that could cover Travis Kelce.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Dylan's good. I've had him here in the 3rd round.
Henley can move quick.
I've said it, dude. This is what I would do. So this is my draft where I would go. If I was drafting, I would draft Christian Gonzalez, Jake Campbell, Derek Hall, Darius Rush, Omar Ojama, Zach Kuntz, and then Max Duggan. But at the same time, I've said if Jack Campbell wasn't there and Brian Breeze was there, I would grab him. And if Brian Breeze wasn't there, I would take Drew Sanders in the 2nd. And if Derek Hall isn't there in the 3rd, I would take Dylan Henley in replace of him. And if Darius Rush isn't in the 3rd, I would take Jalen Jones to replace him. And if Omar isn't there, I would take Kobe Turner or Garvin Dextron. So, I mean, there's numerous players you can go in those positions to make our team just fine, you know?
I would take Henley over Drew Sanders in the 2nd round. I
don't think so because the thing that Ziegler's made clear already, and he's brought this up, is that Ziegler's brought this up and said that he would still take a player in the same position, no matter if they already got a good player there. And when you're looking at Drew coming off the edge as an edge linebacker, linebacker DN, because that's what he is, and he plays on the outside, and he gets after a motherfucker for sure. I think he would go before Henley for sure, but I think Drew Sanders is elite as fuck coming off that edge, dude. There's no doubt he gets after his. So for me, I would take Henley in the second round. I would take Drew Sanders in the second round. I wouldn't take fucking Henley in the second round.
Hey, Dustin, you know, since day one, I have never liked Sanders. Never. I don't think.
Yeah, but liking or not, his production is ruthless off.
But you need
edge,
a coverage linebacker. He's not a cover linebacker.
Yeah, but Ziegler's already said, like, that's where I think people get these misconceptions. Like, you're going to go into this draft and you're going to look for this particular player that is an edge or coverage or zone or man. Like I've just said, if Drew Sanders is on the fucking board and he's the best available player at that spot that they're looking at, you bet your ass he's getting signed, dude. I mean, Ziegler said it on his deal that he will take players. They said they will take players at the same position that they already have elite players at, and they'll figure it out in camp. That's exactly what he said. So at that point, I think, like I said, you're more to take that player. He's fucking next level shit. So I mean, you're not just going to not get him because he can't coverage. If you're putting him in attacking off the edge, like you're saying, the front seven, and you're bringing that fucking power, like he brings that power. There's no doubt about it. So there's no doubt. So like I said, and again, they can go about this draft fucking 900 different ways and the way that everybody's hoping that it's going to fall. I mean, what's going to really change the outcome of the draft, I feel, is it's going to be if anybody is really intrigued on fucking Richardson, or if that's just bullshit. If that Richardson talk is just bullshit, then we're going to start seeing defensive players knock off that board. But if that Richardson talk is true, like I said, in the first 5 to 6 picks, you might see 4 quarterbacks go off the damn board. So that's all I'm trying to say is that
when it comes our turn, there'll be like the third best defensive player on the board.
I think at worst there's going to be look at it. We're the 7th pick, so I think we're going to get the 3rd best or 4th best regardless. And I keep saying this, that even if you're going defense, dude, there are a lot of players that are there defensively.
Hey, bro,
that are
I wouldn't mind.
Good. So,
I would not mind Wilson on the opposite of Mad Max.
Yeah, I've said I think he'd be elite, but he's had injuries, and I mean, like I said, I would entertain him. But I don't think he's going to be there. I think that's what gets on.
Or do you want to go over my topic, Dustin?
We want to trade up. Josh says he can develop a high school quarterback.
Hey, should we go to a topic?
Well,
yeah. What were you saying?
Wait, hey guys. I'm gonna head out for tonight. It's getting late for me.
All right, then have a good one. Wednesday, bro.
Take it easy.
That's all you good.
All right, see you guys Wednesday.
All right.
Before I get off real quick, I want to thank Jeff and Dustin because I noticed I wish I noticed earlier. I noticed on the Discord you guys got me my own channel for the Instagram.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I made that the other day and added you at it.
Yeah. So I really appreciate that though.
Yeah,
no problem.
All right.
Yeah. Have a good night, guys.
All right,
I'll see you
man.
All right.
Wednesday.
Later, Sergio.
Yep, Wednesday. So should we go over the Brent one topic?
What your topic for? Whatever. Fucking.
Yeah, Jeff, if you wanna.
I want to hear. It's not up, or is it?
It should. I sent it.
Yeah, it's right here. It's right here.
Yeah. So I feel this is my favorite player. All 4 of us know this is my favorite player in this year's draft. But I heard some stuff If he's there at pick 70, the Raiders are taking him. They don't care. They'll take him off the board at 70 because they like. Just imagine him and Gonzalez, 6'2" and 6, almost 6'4". That gives you length on the outside.
Oh, Twin Towers.
That would be. I think that would be a better option than fucking what Seattle had with Tyreek Woolen, because didn't they only have? I forget their other corner, but he's a veteran. I think he was only 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
Or 6'1", I forget. But
Well,
Brent
6'1's
will
tall.
be Julian Brents. If he the Raiders will draft him if he's there at 70. That's their place where they would take him if he's still on the board. If I'm not mistaken, I think.
Ooh, that's a big height. Yeah.
I think
the height.
I think he was on Patrick Graham's team, but didn't play in the thing because he showed in practice, so they didn't.
So,
play.
He's a good player, right? And I've talked with Cortez about this, and this is why I feel he won't be at 70 because and I've said this, that Seattle would probably be the team that would be intrigued by him to begin with, because Brent is actually first round talent safety. He actually is projected first round overall as a safety. He has very high tangibles as a safety. I've told Cortez this in private that Cam Chancellor type players that's going to go in there. I believe another team will pick him before there, just because of the fact that he has those tangibles in that safety position. And I've said Seattle's would be one of the most intrigued because of his size, because of the Cam Chancellor connection.
But didn't they already have a filled up with safeties?
Hey, I've said it like this, dude. A lot of people thought that Montgomery and people, listen, when you're putting a player like Rick and Josh Jacobs in front of somebody where they're just that much better than the next person, that player is viable to be traded or be cut, you know? So yeah. I've always said to some people's eyes, when they're looking at a player, they value him at so high. But as for Seattle, for instance, they're not going to do that. I think that's what gave Seattle their best value over the years is they know what the fuck they're doing when it comes to drafting a lot of their players, especially defensively. So if they're looking at some of the players and they just don't see that capability, that draft capability, they're not doing it. They're not going to do it at all. But I feel like with him, he offers you that same shit. And didn't Bobby go back there? Didn't Bobby just go back there? Bobby Wagner? Like, yeah. All I'm saying, there's a lot of things that would come together that I think can put him there. And listen, if it's not there, somebody can pick him up in earlier rounds for safety. But what were you going to say?
And plus that they like versatility too on defense. He could play corner, safety.
Yeah, it's very true.
For us too, and they love players that could do that.
And they speak a lot on the fact that they want players that have the versatility out there, you know.
And like I was just saying, Patrick Graham likes lengthy corners. He likes them to be tall.
Yeah, but let's be real. There hasn't even been very many corners that's ever even been 6'4" and played in the NFL. Yeah. I mean, Browner, I can think of one off a hand.
Well, Browner and Tariq Woolen are the only two so far.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I don't think.
Well, there was one for Denver that played. But that was many years ago, but he covered Plexico Burst real good when Plexico was with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah. That was a long time ago, though. But I was seeing some of the mock drafts, and they're putting us at Witherspoon, you know. A lot of the mock drafts have us taking Witherspoon.
Hey, so the difference, I'm going to give kudos to my bro, Ryan Sakamoto. Christian Gonzalez and Devin Witherspoon is A1, AB. So there's a hard to which. I like them both. I like how
Yeah,
Devin Witherspoon is like aggressive, like.
yeah, he's aggressive, but
And
I
then,
just
but
hope
the
he's not
thing
another
that,
Damien Arnett,
but the
though.
good thing with freaking Christian Gonzalez is that he's played in multiple sports. His father, I think, ran track or something back in the day.
Yeah.
And when he was a little kid, when he was a little kid, a family gathering, they were playing soccer, and he caught on how to play soccer like that in no time. And Gonzalez is an athlete. He used to play receiver back in, I think, high school, and then he converted to corner. But could read, he knows how to read deep offenses that he's like in one position, but if he sees like a crosser coming to the back like a tight end, he's gonna watch that person, and once that person gets the ball, he's gonna wrap up and drop them. That's what I really like about Gonzalez. He will wrap up and hit you. He's not as scared to hit you.
Uh-oh. Dustin.
Go.
We'll be back.
Is it still?
They always come back.
Let me
Is it
see if
still
there's a
muffling?
muffling.
Who?
You're not muffling anymore.
Well, it must have been on Dustin.
He
Cause I
was
heard
here.
it
He
for a
was
minute.
echoing from you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that, and like, this is my favorite player. Like, I'm gonna push for the Raiders to get him.
Yeah.
And once they get him and he makes the team, I'm gonna get his jersey if he's a Raider. My guy. Even if Moreno Copper goes to the Raiders, I'm gonna draft his jersey or get his jersey.
Yeah. Well, I learned about getting rookie players' jersey the ugly way, because long time ago when Jamarcus Russell got drafted, we thought he was a good guy because he had good size, good arm, but then we didn't know he was lazy. He was lazy as hell.
Man,
got off his ass,
bro, I
had
kind of
heart.
wish that Terrell Pryor would have worked out. That
You know
was
what? He
Al
was a
Davis'
good-
last pick.
He was just a runner, though. That's all he was. He ran that 80-something
Just
yard run. He
imagine if he was in this.
outran Troy
right now.
Polamalu on that run, you know? I don't know if
What
you
about
remember
if
that
he
run.
was in this era with Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts? Just imagine.
No,
It would be
no, he
better.
wouldn't.
He would be good in this type of quarterback.
yeah, but this era, he'd probably get killed a lot easier. Because this area is a little more aggressive. And look at Lamar Jackson. He's getting injured. But, yeah, I wouldn't mind getting Christian Gonzalez. I like his size and everything.
Since the first tape that I seen Christian Gonzalez, I was like, yeah, we gotta get him. We gotta give him the 0.
Yeah.
Hey, not to change subjects or anything. Did you guys see what Rodgers' new jersey gonna be?
It's going to be number
What's it gonna
5.
be?
Number 8 from Cal when he played at Cal. That's gonna be his jersey.
Oh.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
They
going
said,
through the same thing Brett Favre went through.
Namath said he would unretire his number so he can wear it.
No, he just went with his college jersey. Oh yeah, name it this 12. What was it?
Yeah, I think he's gonna unretire and give it to Rodgers.
No, Rodgers
But,
already said
but
that
Namath
he's
came out
going
and said he can wear 12.
Say
Why
again.
would you
Namath came out and said that Rodgers could wear 12.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
he
but
said
Rodgers
that he
says
could
that he's gonna wear
unretire.
his college jersey. He's gonna wear 8.
Yeah, Rodgers wants to make a change. But yeah, that's an interesting development for the Raiders because the Raiders have to play the Jets this year. So, and obviously, you know, the Devontae, Aaron Rodgers thing. I mean, they're going to be playing against one another. That's something we haven't seen yet.
Hey, Dustin, you know what's a good game to go to? I told you I'm gonna go anyways. Is that Green Bay game? That's gonna be see Jordan Love out there passing, throwing passes.
He said I like Pryor. I'm not gonna lie, there were things
I
about
love
Pryor.
Pryor,
I
man.
liked.
He
I
had great
was-
legs. He was a good runner, you know.
Hey, Dustin, if he was in this part of this era, he would be good.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie,
Wasn't
dude. He took
consistent in
what
passing,
if he
though.
got that 98-yard touchdown, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, against the Steelers.
He did Troy dirty.
Yeah, ran Troy Polamalu, you know.
Yeah.
Polamalu couldn't catch him. Of course, my dad
Ran
would
right
like
on by him, right up the gut.
Yeah.
He did it right off the right side, right up the gut.
Yep.
See you later.
Yeah.
It
You know what
wasn't
happened to Terrell
Troy
Farr?
last year
He
playing?
became a wide receiver for Cleveland when we let him go. You know.
Yeah, a lot of them quarterbacks become receivers.
Well, yeah, I mean, like
Not the big ones like 254, 240. No, they
well,
won't.
like Julian Edelman was a quarterback and he became a wide receiver. They even said,
and
what's his name?
and isn't oh no, Danny Amendola is our wide receiver coach.
Yeah.
Or assistant. Isn't it Amendola?
Yeah.
Because Amendola, I think he used to work for Detroit before as a receivers coach. Or somewhere as a receiver.
He works for us now.
Yep.
So
What are the
yeah, I mean,
topics? Oh, no, go, Jeff. My bad.
I was gonna say, yeah, I mean, obviously Aaron Rodgers, I think it's somewhat of a risk for the Jets because he took a step back last year. Maybe that's because of the downgrade at receiver, but that could pose, another challenge for this team, trying to get wins.
Going to a slightly tougher division too.
Actually,
yeah, right. That's
let's be honest. This is a tougher conference than what he was.
Oh
just
yeah,
in.
definitely.
Definitely, like there's.
Yeah, he's going to go through what Brett Favre went through.
Yeah, didn't Brett Favre go from the Jets to Minnesota, or was it from Green Bay?
Green Bay, Jets, Minnesota. Then he went back to the.
Yeah, but Favre didn't go to a Jets team like Aaron Rodgers is.
No, heck.
Like Rodgers going to probably the better team than he's played with in the whole time.
Yeah.
He's probably been with.
They got a good defense. The Jets have a good defense.
And
their offense. Offense
they got good ass
decent
players
without a
over
good
there right
quarterback,
now,
though.
dude. They got good players there. There ain't no
Oh
slouch.
yeah, what's his name? His receivers there, Lazard. Who else went there with them?
Williams is there, dude. They got numerous people over there right now. I mean, I wouldn't even sleep on them, dude. That's a fucking rookie of the year, 1,000-yard receiver. I mean, I think Rodgers. And you got Bryce Hall. You got Sauce Gardner, defensive rookie of the year. I mean, you got a good team. They were winning games with only scoring 17 points. They were winning games with averaging 17 points last year. So.
Yeah, they just had raw talent and just weren't, they're just a rough diamond, basically.
And I've said it, dude. When you take Aaron Rodgers and you're comparing him to Zach Wilson and them, I mean, fuck, let's be real. That's a massive fucking upgrade.
Hey, let me ask you this. Do you think that they're going to move on from Zach Wilson now?
I don't think. Why would you? I've said this about Trey Lance. Why would you move off a player that you've already got paid for the next few years for cheap? So for me, I'd probably just hold on to him and then decline their 5th-year option if it was me. So, but I just think when you're looking at Rodgers, like I said, just Rodgers there is a massive upgrade over Zach Wilson by far. And Mike White. So.
He's 39 years old, bro. You got a 39-year-old quarterback, but you don't know how long he's going to last. Does he have 2 years in the tank?
I've always said Rodgers doesn't look to me like he's falling off or things. Rodgers looks like he's still dot him off fucker deep downfield or in Rodgers doesn't look like his play production is just falling off. And I said he can be Brady, dude. Like it's just up to Rodgers up here. Like that's what Rodgers' problem is this shit right here. Fucking is he mentally stable to fucking play into his 40s, or is this motherfucker Jesus, like who knows? The motherfucker gonna show up looking like the Matrix and who knows, so I just say like he's like I feel like he's a borderline AB dude at any given moment. I swear, like he can be the guy where you're just like, damn, this fucker just snapped, So
I mean, he's been going through some changes. He looked like Nicolas Cage from what's that movie called? What was it called? Was it called Con Air? You know, when he had that mullet
Yeah,
hairstyle there.
yeah.
You're looking like Con Air. And I was the one who said it first before anybody, and then everybody else starts saying it after me.
I will.
Yeah, I
But,
think.
you know,
He does for sure.
yeah, I mean, he does. I mean, I even made jokes that he looked like Wallowitz from the Big Bang Theory when he had that stash.
Yeah, that's why I just think frickin' who was that?
The Aaron Rodgers when he had just the stash. He looked like Wallowitz from the Big Bang Theory.
No, I mean Rodgers. I've said you'd just be a fool to sleep on Rodgers. I mean, Rodgers came here. Everybody would be jocking his nuts, dude. So why the fuck him going to the Jets? Being with the team they got over, jocking him for sure. They're gonna jock him for sure. So that's all I'm saying. And he's gonna be good in that division. I mean, fucking people are sitting there saying like, "Oh, look at the division." I mean, let's be real. Fucking, what's his name in Buffalo? He falled off at the end of the year. Fucking Tua fucking got concussion like motherfucker. And unless fucking New England gets that offensive coordinator Bill O'Brien fucking tapping in with Mac Jones, I mean, I don't know if you're not going to be surprised if Rodgers ain't winning that division next year. So I wouldn't be counting on like Aaron, Josh Allen, and them gonna be so quick to fucking gander. I mean, and Rodgers ain't coming from just no slouch ass division either. So I mean, the Bears are not no slouch team. I don't care if they're not good or not. They've always had good defensive team over all the years or not. They've had good teams in the past, dude. So, again, I would just say, like, I would not doubt if Rodgers can win that division. Like, I'll bet money on it he can win that division because I think he comes in truly playing as him. He can be better than fucking all three of those guys.
I don't know. Josh Allen's, they got a pretty good team. Maybe they could go number 2 and go to the playoffs and be a wild card. Maybe a 5th seed, possibly. You know,
rank the top 5 defensive linemen. Our defense is good. We now need. Our offense is good. We now need. Yeah, I don't disagree. He said, "Can we rank the top 5 defensive linemen in the draft?" Al, is that what you're saying? Like rank the top 5 D linemen in the draft?
I think that is what he means.
You'll have to bring it up. I have no fucking idea. I mean, if I'm just thinking, like, it's probably got to be Carter, Breeze. Hell of people got Chauncey in there, but I mean, I don't know why a lot of people have him. I think they have him because of speed. I'll just be honest. I think that's why that fool's up in there. There are numerous other people I would take over him. So, but again, I mean, I think it's the speed. I think that's why people have that guy up there so high. I mean, you got Dexter. You got numerous dudes up there. I mean, fuck, I think I have him right here, actually. I think I have him right.
I'm not on camera, Dustin, because I'm already fucked up.
Because you're spanking it over there? I get it.
Bro, I smoke too much.
Yeah, you know what? I did a rank wrong on the rushing. I thought it was ranked 14th in the NFL. We were ranked 17th. And passing was 11th. Total yards was 12th in the NFL. It was decent, but it wasn't great or anything. The only guy that really stood out the most was Josh Jacobs. He was number 2 would have been Devontae Adams. But other than that, our offense
last year's offense was not great.
The year before it was better than this one.
Did you bring it up who the top 5 D linemen are in this draft?
Let me look up that real quick.
Yeah, I'll just name 3 right now. Carter, Mozzie, or the one from Michigan. Isn't it Mozzie or what's his name? Cansey.
Breeze is better than all of them outside of Carter.
Breezy's 2. So Breezy's 2. Mozzie is 3. Kansas is 4. Am I missing somebody?
Let me look.
Like I said, I'd have to look up, but like I said, I mean, you got Dexter, you got
The Alabama
Jalen Carter.
You got Young.
you have
It's
Kobe
Breeze.
Turner, dude. You have
Mozzie Smith.
Dexter. You got Mo Moore. There's a lot of them. And like I said, I mean, just thinking off a hand, I would have to go Jalen, Breeze, maybe like he's saying, the dude from Michigan.
That's Mozzie Smith.
I would have to see him on the list, to be honest with you, man. To
Mozzie
be
Smith
100%.
is like it only showing on the mock draft that there'll be only 3 defensive linemen in the first round. But Mozzie Smith would be an early second round pick.
I don't care
But
what they
that's-
think. I don't care. Like, we don't care what they
But that-
think. That's what they think.
But yeah, well, that's what everybody thinks. We're
No,
just predicting.
we could have different opinions with that.
Well,
There's
it's
some players
predictions.
that you think that is better than my players that I think at that position.
Well, sometimes though, a guy can play better than what they said that could be. And those are steals. Like nobody thought Mad Max Crosby would be a great player from the 4th round.
Hey,
I mean, go look at the draft video right now that the NFL put out. It's all players that they scouted poorly, obviously, said that they weren't going to be nothing, do nothing, and they're some of the best players in the NFL right now. I mean,
Hey, Dustin,
just because one person projects somebody or has a view on it, I think like that. I think the point to their video makes a lot of sense. Do you want to fucking succeed or fail when you get here? It's up to you to prove them wrong. Like, that's fact. Nobody's entitled to anything here, dude. And so you have to work your hardest that you've ever worked before. I've already said, I think people get the misconception that they think their career starts in college, dude. It doesn't. It starts in the NFL. Everything up to college doesn't even really fucking matter. The NFL is where you're fucking. That's where your career is at, is in the NFL, dude. So. I think now with the portal and shit, people can make money in college, but still, I mean, I wouldn't want to sit there and say, oh, my career was college. Like, your career, you worked for everything up to college to get to the NFL. You know what I mean? So for me, I would say, like I've said, your career don't even start till you get to the NFL anyway. So
I'm just saying it like this. They're not always accurate. Even Mel Kiper, he's been wrong quite a bit. He's considered one of the most well-respected mock draft.
Mike Mayock used to be good at it.
Yeah, Mike Mayock was. I think he was legend, but
you got Jeremiah, dude. That's really good at it. He's the one that does it for NFL.
Bucky Brooks sucks. I'm sorry.
Or whatever, they do it for the Raiders.
Yeah, but Daniel Jeremiah and Mel Kiper are probably going to be your most two.
Yeah, there's Todd McShay too.
Solidified people
and
that
Todd
there are.
McShay too. You can't go wrong.
Todd McShay actually works with Mel Kiper, and they talk together about their mock drafts together.
Yeah, I think.
Man, hurry up! These 2 days need to get knocked out. Let's go. I'm excited.
I mean, like I said, to just sit and touch on it, dude. Like I've said, I like Kobe Turner. I think he's got a motor that doesn't end, dude. I mean, I've said, like, even in my notes that I would go back and watch this guy, and I've actually voted for this guy if Mo ain't there, and Mo Moore, or however you say his dude's fucking name. But
I can't
if
wait
Kobe Turner, man, that guy ain't no slouch, bro. That dude's dog,
Junior at
motherfucker.
D2, Dustin, I can't wait to see what he has to do.
I'm not gonna sit and look at Jalen Carter. Odds are we're not getting him, so I don't even like to really talk about him.
Kobe Turner.
Brian Breeze would be a really good pickup too at D tackle.
But
if we got him in the second round, I would take that for.
Yeah, in the second round, I wouldn't take him in the first.
I would take Brian Breeze over Jack Campbell in the second round, to be honest with you.
Facts. What happens if we do this? We go corner, D tackle, then linebacker.
Yeah, but that's
Or
what I'm
corner.
saying. So like, so listen. Look it. If Derek Hall is on the board in the 3rd round, I'm taking Derek Hall over Dylan Henley any day of the week. But if Derek Hall is not on the board, because it's gonna be tough if Derek Hall's on there. Like, that's just gonna be a hope that people just pass on him and he is there. The odds are Derek Hall won't be there. The reality is Dylan Henley will be there. So I can most definitely see him in the first pick of the 3rd round. But like I said, then you got Darius Rush and Jalen Jones, both big guys, both man corners, both got good talent. So the 4th round, I've said like D tackle for me. I think you can get that Moji Mora from Texas. I think you can get Kobe Turner or Garvin Dexter from Florida. So I think you got some pretty good options for D tackle in there. Zach Kuntz has been mocked in that 5th round like every fucking time. So I think that's a very big possibility that fool can be on our team in the 5th round. Zach Kuntz, and I would probably take him in the 5th, and then Max Duggan in the 5th. And then I would get an offensive lineman. I would look at, there's a few of them, but I would probably prefer the one from Alabama. But again, there's numerous of them out there that you can pick in that round. I think when you're in like 6 and 7, to me, I mean, I'll have the picks. I pretty much do. I'm not going to pay more. I think for me, most of our picks are going to be to that 5th round.
Yeah.
Like, once we get Max Duggan, and then if it's an O lineman or linebacker or somebody in that 5th, after that, I don't really give a fuck what we get after that, in my opinion, because I think you're just wishing. And don't get me wrong, I do have players. I just think our hits are these top ones here. Like, if we went out with Christian Gonzalez, Brian Breezy, fucking Derek Hall, Darius Rush, fucking Marp, Zach Kuntz, and Max Duggan. I mean, that's a pretty ballin' fucking draft to start out. That's just in the 5th round there. So, I mean, I think you got a lot of potential there with a lot of players. So, like I said, I think, and I've wrote in here multiple different ways, dude, that you can do it. And I know that they have similar boards just like that. So, you're solidifying a lot of places of need. Like, I've said that, damn, that fucking guy, he almost got hit. Like, you can get safety in there, depending on where, like, look, in the 4th round, you can pick up a safety. There's even been safety projected in the 3rd round there. So again, you can you can switch one of these players for them. I'm just saying that's kind of where I would be. I'm kind of not looking at safety because I'm sitting here saying, like, we got Morick, dude. I don't think he's going to fail if he has corner help and linebacker help. We did get Epps. I think Epps was a big add there. So for me, I think if you picked up a safety in like 5, 6, 7 in there, you'd be fine. I mean, my 6th round pick would be Cropper. Obviously, I wouldn't mind getting Cropper in the even in the 5th round. If we got Moreno Cropper in the last pick in the 5th round and went O lineman in the 6th round, I would have no issue with that. Or went lineman in the 5th, offensive lineman in the 5th, and then in the 6th round went Cropper. But I think Cropper, I've said this, I think Cropper will get taken off the board. Even people have said that he's projected in the 230s or so. I don't buy that shit at all. I mean, there's going to be teams up there that want special teamer player, and this guy's just going to be standing out there like a sore thumb, So I most definitely can see him popping off in that 5th, 6th round for sure. So, and I'd probably aim for him in the 5th and then get an offensive lineman in the 6th if it was me thinking about it, because I've always said I don't want to miss on a player that can be a pretty big need for our team. And he has the capability that he can actually snuff out Dorsett or somebody on that lineup. So saying he's ready. I mean, hey, like I've said, Neil Farrell Jr., I've said it the whole time, the way that Ziegler, that he brings and develops and so on, I've said he didn't draft those people to sit on the bench, dude. And Ziegler's even spoke about having depth not only from the first, second, third, all the way to the fourth position. So I've said those dudes are starting and they're going to play. And look, the whole thing that people aren't understanding is like they're trying to develop players. And if you go look at the players that they're looking to develop and that they've done, look at Kuntz. Kuntz was at 249 with Gruden for 2 years. They came in 1 fucking year. He's at 258, 259. He put on 10 fucking pounds in 1 year under them. And not only that, go look at all the players. Go look at their list. They have a weight gain list where all these players have put on massive weight, dude. Big bodied players. Like, that shit didn't happen under Gruden. Like, what the fuck is that shit, man? Is that you, Cortez?
Oh, he muted himself now.
I think that's you, Rudy.
What noise?
I've been muted this whole time.
It is Rudy. It's Rudy's. Something's feeding back in your TV mic. Something's feeding back hella hard.
I don't have a TV on.
Or maybe it's your wire on your mic or so. I don't know, but something's going.
I have earphones. Let me see.
There it goes. Its way.
That must have been the hard drive then. Mute myself.
That's all I say is like they can fucking go a lot of different routes. They can have a lot of different players. I mean, I just sit here and look at the players that are on the board every time, sitting there looking at players in need. I mean, if we got this pick like this, I mean, fuck, dude. I don't care if we didn't get Brian Breeze and we got Jack Campbell. You know what I mean? Like, and if we didn't get Jack Campbell and we got Drew, like, I would not be upset in those picks either which way. And again, going into the third, getting Derek Hall or Dylan Henley, like, I would not be upset. If Darius Rush or Jalen Jones, I'm not going to be upset. Like, there's multiple players in those rounds that they're all very similar. They're all very similar with the players. So it's just preference on what player I'd like. Maybe height, maybe a little bit bigger. But some of these, like I said, this Kobe Turner, dude, this guy's a little fucking machine, dude. I don't know how the hell this guy, he looks like a little roly-poly, but the son of a bitch is in the backfield every single time. Like, I don't know how the hell that little guy does it, but that fucker is always in that backfield. Always. Like, really good player. And then when you're looking at Dexter, he's just more of a bigger body dude. I've said I like him a lot, dude. I mean, I've liked that guy a lot, dude. So he's a bigger body dude. You can get him later. I mean, I think he's a pretty nice player in my opinion. But if I was looking in that fourth, it would have to be Moore or Kobe Turner for me, in my personal opinion. But again, like I said, dude, there's a lot of players here that you can have a lot of good depth, a lot of good deals. I'm excited for the draft on Thursday because I kind of want to see if I hit on any of my players or hit on anybody here, because I think it'd be pretty cool if we did, man. Like, just to know, like, that's where the Raiders are going. Like, if they went out and go quarterback, like, I have no issue with them taking Stroud in the first if that's what they want to do. I just think the more and more we get closer, it just seems kind of a little unrealistic that it's going to happen. And then people thinking like, oh, he's going to fall to 7. Hey, if he falls to 7, more power to it, man. Like, that's probably be the craziest shit. And if he falls there and we get him, then great. I mean, I don't see an issue with it, but let's be real. I don't even see him even making it outside of the 4th pick, dude. I mean, at worst case scenario. So there's no way that they're telling me that if Will Levis and Richardson and Stroud are on the board at 4 with Indy, that they're going to take Will Levis, Manny's boy. Like, I just can't see that, dude. Like, I can't see that happening. Like, I cannot see it. So I think Stroud comes off that board 100. I mean, even then, let's be real. Let's say that he goes to the Seahawks or he's going to go to Detroit, dude. Like, and then that's implying that nobody even traded up to 3 to even get this conversation. So for me, I just think there's just too many possibilities that he does not make it anywhere past there. So the guy did not like. I think it's just crazy that even people are even saying it. But again, when you get to the draft, you hear the craziest shit you're ever gonna hear anyway. So I've heard it for fucking 20 some odd years. So it's not the first, and it ain't gonna be the last. I just don't think his draft value drops like other people have in the past. The other people in the past had like legitimate reasons why their shit fell. Like Stroud has no legitimate reason. It's just dudes putting out posts in social media and then other guys pushing it. Like that's really what they're doing. They're trying to push a narrative to people that aren't educated. So then when they start talking about it, they get this traffic starts building up of a lot of people speaking on it. But anybody that's educated and just listens to a fucking press conference that Ziegler has already spoke about, like you can't debunk the dude that fucking is the one scouting the players. Like you can't do that. He scouts them. He's the one that sees them. They're the ones that give them the test. He's already spoke about it, you know. So for me, like I said, I just can't see him being there. Just can't see it. If he does like fucking man, light shine down on us and be like, hallelujah. Yeah. And then we'll pick a fucking corner anyways. Like we'll probably still pick a corner anyway. So, but that's all I say is like nothing's guaranteed at all. So no matter who it is or where they're at, I think all we can do is just go by certain things and hope for the best. I mean, that's it. That's all. That's why I draw out the list. That's why I talk on it. Why I look at them. Why I take players and have replacement players. How if we go one way, we already have another option for another way. There's a lot of different rotations. In a perfect world, I would prefer this. In the reality, if we had a mixture of it, great, you know, but is there even going to be any of these guys on this list on our team? Probably fucking not, you know? So that's the only thing is like, it looks good, it sounds good, but at the end of the day, I might not have one fucking dude on that list. Not one, not even Christian Gonzalez or Devontae Witherspoon. Like, so that's a very big possibility that can happen. I just think when you're looking at what you're trying to get from your team, I mean, why I think Max Duggan is a steal, he produced in a good school. I mean, he went to TCU. I'm not going to say they're a great school, but he had one of the best fucking wide receivers in all of football. He produced at a very high level, dude. The guy's got run pass skill like a motherfucker. He was the Heisman Trophy runner-up, dude. And dudes are just neglecting the guy like he doesn't even exist. And I'm like, okay, that doesn't even make no fucking sense because this guy has already done it at a very high level in college. You don't become the Heisman Trophy runner-up by sucking. You know what I mean? So I don't understand it, but I've said, why don't take a risk on him in the 5th round? Like, watch the Cowboys. Cowboys are scouting that motherfucker like no tomorrow. So Cowboys can most definitely hop up there and take a look at this dude. I just feel like I don't want to have another Dak deal on our hand where we could have him. Like, we could have him. And I get that it's an intriguing deal to sit and say, like, oh, man, we're looking up here and we're like, we need Stroud, we need Bryce, we need Levis, no, we probably don't need any of them, dude. Like, you just need a quarterback that's got the tangibles that can learn the system. And I don't care where you get him as long as he can do it. I mean, I keep saying this, when you're looking at people like Max and other people like Purdy, like they can come from anywhere these days, man. So I want to just be so set, so high on a first pick where we can put that somewhere else and still develop a quarterback that's not even going to play this year. He'll be playing next year. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. CJ Stroud, he's definitely going to get taken. And I looked at Carolina. They're ranked 29th in passing. So they need a lot of help. They need a quarterback badly. You know, they need it badly unless they're going to take a quarterback next year and just tank again or something. Because they were ranked 29th in passing. They're good at rushing, 10th in rushing. But, you know, they need help in the passing game. And I don't know if I trust any of the quarterbacks they have on their roster unless they want to put their faith in Matt Carroll or this other guy. There's another guy that played. I don't even see him on there. There's Andy Dalton. I wouldn't even trust Andy Dalton either. It's gonna be crazy.
It says Bucks won't trade Devontae or Bucks won't trade Devin White Todd Bowles says team will not be honoring linebacker's request for a trade. We expect him to be there when the season starts.
I don't know. I think we will go corner, whether it's Christian Gonzalez or even Witherspoon. And I think we'll take a linebacker in the second round. You know. But,
and again, if Hendon's in that second round, you can't count out not taking him. You know what I mean? Like in a real world, you're gonna sit and say, "Oh, he may not be there, this, that," but the fucking guy's there. There's a very big possibility they'll pull the trigger and pull him right there. You know what I mean? Like they know who they have, and they've said on their board, Hendon is their third best quarterback on that board. And I've said if he's in that second round, dude, like, don't be surprised if they were to pull him there. I've just said, like, when I do these deals, I'm just looking at players that meet at the positions. I don't do no trades. I don't do none of that shit. I don't know. I'm not Ziegler, man. I don't know if Ziegler's sitting in that fourth round, third round, and be like, hey, I like this guy a lot, and I want to get back. I'm not Ziegler. I don't fucking know that, dude. So if you're trying to just like project every single pick that's unreal. Like, you're not gonna fucking do that unless he told you what he's doing. Like, you just don't know what he likes. You don't know if he wants something in the second. You don't know if he wants to trade back in the first. You don't know if he trades back in the first and the fucking second. You don't know if he trades back in the first, the third. You don't know if it's the first and the fourth. You don't know if first and fifth. You don't know if it's second. And you see what I'm saying? Like, you don't know where he may value or see where he wants to get back in there and say give up 2-3 picks. Like, I don't know that. I don't know what he is in mind. When I do the draft or I do these, I'm just doing them by the position we're at, where the value of the player is. I've said, like, Jack Campbell in the second is kind of just a few picks over, but that's why I've said if Brian Breeze is there, which he's been projected there numerous fucking times. But again, I still think Drew is over Jack Campbell. So if Drew was there, you'd probably see him come off the board instead of Jack. And then if not, if the Raiders were really interested, they'd probably try to trade back. You see, like, that's all I'm saying. I'm not trading back. I'm just taking him at the position. They may say, well, he's 5 picks later. These guys may not see. Let's try to trade back 5 picks, or 6. Like, I don't know what they're doing that way. I'm just saying, like, for where we're picking, where we're at, and what these players, I feel we're on the board. We're the best players on the board. So, but I can't predict what round they're going to trade or who they're trade. And I can probably say, like, yeah, I think they can trade back in this round to get this player. Like I've said, like, Hendon would probably be the best player. I can probably make a logical guess that would be Hendon trading back in the first. But there's no fucking way I can sit here and tell you that, for instance, that the Raiders would trade back into the third round and take Dylan Henley maybe with the second pick in the third round instead of getting maybe getting Darius, so they may trade back to get. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, so maybe if they got like Derek Hall and then they got Darius Rush, but they seen that they can still pick up Dylan Henley in that third round, then they can trade up there. Like, I can see being viable there. So, but that's crazy. I mean, that's hard. I don't know if I can do all that, dude. I mean, you can try, but all I'm trying to say is at the end, dude, like, I just don't know what Ziegler's going to do. I have no fucking idea. I just know these are players I would prefer. That's all. Ziegler, when he gets there, this fucking guy, he might trade up, trade down, trade back, trade forward, trade left, trade right. I have no fucking idea. So he might trade fucking players. He might trade a lot of shit. And logic says just off of last year's draft for us, he didn't do nothing too crazy. He took players that deal, but he spoke on it numerous times that he feels like players were misvalued last year. Like, they didn't have their valuation on players downright last year. He says that there were 2 different languages people were talking. So when you're hearing stuff like that coming from Ziegler, but now you're sitting here listening to him say like, we're intact, we're all on the same page, we're all on the same deal, like that gives you a lot of hope because of the fact that when you're hearing that come from the main source, like in listen Ziegler and Josh talking in this last presser that, well, the one before this last one, where they were talking about how in the last year when they came to this point that they were way behind. Like they were talking about, man, we were way behind develop, being able to scout all this shit. They were like, we didn't even know player strengths on the team. We didn't know nothing. Then this year they're like, yeah, we're way ahead. Like we already know where we're lacking. We already know where the players' skill sets and strengths are at and where they're lacking. Like they're already way ahead this year than they were last year. And that kind of got to give you comfortability just to know that when they're doing their evaluations, like you can see like Josh and I have yet to see the guy stressing. I've yet to see Ziegler stressing. Like there were numerous times where you can see Gruden and you can see Mayock in certain aspects last year getting to the draft, things of the like, they're just all over the fucking place. Like Ziegler and Josh are walking around like nonchalant, like it's the everyday fucking thing for them. Like they don't stress, they don't sweat, dude. They don't give you no tension under an interview. Like you don't get none of that from them, dude. Not at all. Not any video or anything you see of them. Like, and that just lets you know. Like for me, it lets me know like they're comfortable with where they're at. And you know, like Ziegler even said in this last presser when people said like, what happens if you get up on there and you have this player and he's thinking, he's like, we already ironed that out getting there. Like we've already been over those scenarios. We've already hashed it out before the draft. So when we're at the draft, we're not going to have those type of scenarios because we've already simulated them. So we won't be going at it. And that's good because I bet you like when he said about that 15-day war room over there, I bet you there was some heated fucking conversations in that motherfucker at some points because you can tell like Ziegler when he was talking that there probably was because there were guys in there probably like, hey, I see this. He's like, I see, you know what I mean? But when you're looking at 12 picks and then you're trying to get the board to fall the way you want, it takes a lot of fucking luck too, you know? Like that's why I've said to get 12 picks is like, I don't know. I think about it that way, but fuck, let's be real. I think the Chiefs were able to nail 11 of their 11 picks. So I don't think why it's unrealistic to happen. And then you look at the halfback, Pacheco, whatever his name is, you know, he got a fucking, 1,200 yard season in the 7th round. So, like I said, just being on top of your shit and having those picks, I guess, like you said, you just never know where you're going to find that player at, man.
You know. Were we going to do a mock draft again?
If Cortez wants to do the mock, we can, and then hop off.
I don't know if he fell asleep or...
Cortez, you there or what?
Oh, we might be watching Cups on your end.
So what do you want me to do?
OP Live, baby. Listen, if you're not going to be here for the whole mock, don't do the mock.
No, fucker, I'm here.
All right, yeah, because I don't want to be sitting here. I just want to do this and get it over. I don't want to be sitting here for a fucking hour trying to do a mock draft.
Yeah,
then we can hop off because I want to go in here and get me candy bar, dude. I'm fucking starving.
Yeah.
Hey, where's my food at, fool?
Get a sticker.
My food's about to be right over here. I'm about to probably go while we're on the live and get it while we're talking.
Yeah.
Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
We're gonna go by our pick. We're not gonna.
Well, what you can always do is have someone choose a pick, you know.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Put it at fast.
So, Rudy, you're gonna. Let's.
You want to get the first pick?
What happens?
Oh, no. How did Bryce Young get right there?
Did you put it on fast or what? What's it on?
Yeah, we're at.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're right there. There's Bryce Young available.
All right, well, he hasn't
How
even
the heck
started.
did he stay there?
Stroll up, bro. I can't even see shit.
Yeah, or scroll down is what he meant.
Hey, fucking Loon. Hey, facts, bro. He fell asleep watching that midget donkey porn again.
No, you. Well, I'm taking Christian. I'm taking.
Hey, he
Christian
mutes it
Gonzalez.
I agree.
he mutes it
I
because he
agree.
doesn't want to hear that.
Hey Dustin, who would you take, Will Anderson or Christian Gonzalez?
I'm just going by real. I'm going to go with Christian Gonzalez because Will Anderson ain't
Me
going to
too.
be there.
All three of us are all Gonzalez.
I don't do these mock drafts by fake
Yeah.
shit. A lot
Best
of these
pick
fucking
ever.
you're not going to see players like Will Anderson up there, dude. He's going to be off the board
Yeah,
second
no.
overall to the fucking Texans, and if not to the Arizona, if not to fucking Seattle. You know, like there's a fucking
Hey,
guys
should
going to
we
go off that
take
board
the
long
tight end
before
now or wait?
Defense.
No, I would roll down. I'd roll down because see, look, this is like I said. There's Drew. There's Jack. I mean, see, this is my point. Drew is projected over Jack in this spot here, and when you're looking at us at 38, he's at 44. Where's Drew at? 38, 39.
Mm-hmm.
Stroll back up. Yeah, 42. No,
39.
39. That's why I'm saying he would probably go to us at that pick. But Hennon can go off the board here too if he was there. So and it's not unrealistic that he'd make it to the second round. So my pick here would have to be between Hennon, Drew, and Jack. But if I was gonna be honest, I'd probably just narrow it down to Drew and Hennon.
Yes, I'm doing
I don't think they're ready to go quarterback in the second round.
The more I think about it, I'd probably go with Drew or Jack.
Okay.
And me personally, I'd prefer Jack over Drew, but Ziegler has already said he would take a player that has this, even at the same position as somebody else with elite talent. So I can see him taking Drew.
Jack.
All right, go.
I would take Jack. I mean, I'm down for Jack. Right. That's who I have in mind.
I'll go with Jack.
I prefer Jack over fucking Drew Sanders any day of the week.
Yeah, but they're gonna probably put Drew.
They'll give us a B grade. They'll give us a B grade.
Yeah, they're gonna pick. I know the Raiders would pick Drew over Jack. I know it for sure. I know for a fact he's.
But I think somebody's gonna take Drew before us.
We can take Jack. I don't care less which one we take. Take Jack. I have no issue with Jack. He's a true middle linebacker. I'm fine with it. Roll down so I can see up a little bit, dude.
Yeah. Yes. Go the other one.
Just turn all the trades on. Other trades.
Now scroll up. Yeah.
You can't see the picks.
Great. Oh, they gave us a B plus. I was.
It's a B plus every time, unless you trade down.
Fuck, I'm
B
mad.
plus every single time. So that's the best. Is that a best available?
No.
Go to all.
Stevenson.
Wait, I want to look at something.
Oh, he's looking to see what.
He doesn't understand. I keep telling him this guy's gonna go out of there long before he gets there. See, I've told you every time I've said he would be projected to Seattle because he's another Cam Chancellor.
Yeah. Oh, that tall corner. Yeah.
Go to all.
Let's see what we got here.
Scroll down. I can't see it.
Wow.
I'll take the O lineman.
Keep going. Yeah, we can. Let's just look down a little bit. Keep showing. What happened there?
Whoa.
Motherfucker.
Going a little
down.
fast there.
I don't know what the fuck. Are we looking at the same shit over and over? Like, see, I would take Henley right there. I would take Henley. Go up.
Yeah, I think I'd take another linebacker. Right?
I would go Henley. I would go Henley here, but like I said, Cody isn't a bad pick either.
No, fuck that.
But for me, I would probably go Henley. Yeah, if it was me.
Oh, man, this is what's gonna get me. Tucker crap.
60. 69.
or Henley.
I would go Henley. I would go with Kuntz in the 5th round.
Or we went Henley.
What grade did they give us for Henley? They ought to give us an A. Let's see. B plus. Yeah, it's because of position, not the player. They go by position more
I
than the
can care
player.
less what their grades are. Their fucking grades is their opinion.
Okay, Marvin Mims.
Listen, if I redid this draft again and took him in the same round, he can be an A fucking plus. I mean,
Yeah.
that's why I don't care for their grades. It's not about their grades. It's about, is the player there in that round? That's what's more important to me.
Look. So where
Keep
do we
going
go?
down. Keep going down.
Keep going?
What pick are we at?
We're past the 70th.
100? Yeah.
109.
Keep going down.
No, 100. We're at the 100.
Hold on.
My boy.
No, you can scroll back up. I mean, the screen's so small, dude. I can hardly see this motherfucker.
I could see it, but you have a cell phone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I
can see it. Yeah, that's way better. I can see it. Don't get me wrong. It's just that I'm fucking like.
You have to squint your eyes.
Yeah. I mean, there's numerous people. See, like here you can go with Bates. I mean, or Battles. I mean, you can go with numerous players in this spot here.
We need a special teams wide receiver, though.
We'll get him.
Yeah, but we can get him later on.
I want to look at the D line.
Look at Henry Tool is a linebacker that's there, but they'll give us.
The problem is these guys aren't even projected till the 4th and 5th.
Yeah.
And again, they're not even in the top in the all. Like if they're in the all, they'd be the best projected players. So.
Should we take a chance on Carter?
I mean, in all honesty, I've said I think Carter's production's fallen off massively. But I mean, if you're looking for a grade, Carter would probably be a good grade.
What about?
I think Battles would be a player of need.
A safety, yeah, because of Harmon.
I mean, he would be a player of need, and he's a pretty good
Hey,
project.
let me just say this about Harmon. I think Epps is going to be a better player than Harmon.
Well, whether Epps, depending on how long he's going to stay,
Epps
Battle
has a
will be a
2-year
long-term
contract.
Well, Battle would come in eventually, maybe within 2 or 3 years. Maybe.
No, Battles will come in to be the third safety because Patrick Graham loves to run 3 safeties.
And Epps plays in the box, dude. Yep. Epps is a linebacker, safety, hybrid safety linebacker.
Yeah, you can move him into the box if you need to.
I think Harmon was really good safety. He played really good for us.
I mean, for here, dude, I would probably roll with Battles or stroll down. I mean, JL Skinner, I like him a lot too.
Yeah, I love him a lot.
I'd probably still roll with Battles.
Battles is better. Actually, isn't Battles the number 1 safety?
I would probably roll over Battles
number 2 or number 3
at the moment if it was me. That's my pick. Is Battles.
Alabama safety that's number 1, so it's not Battles. What's the other one?
I forgot what his name is. I saw him. I just remember. I don't think he was. He might have been Alabama. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But the safety is a need. I just say just take Jordan Battles.
Who's the best safety in the 2023 NFL draft? No, Branch. Branches from
And
Alabama.
that's Alabama. Yeah, I thought so. I was.
Yeah, Battle's like the third option. What do you think,
Well,
Dustin?
It's not
I
bad.
already told you who I'd pick, man.
We're going
A grade is a position, though. Now we need is I think we need is more a little bit of offense, either O line or wide receiver, or
no
even
right
tight end.
receiver. We could wait.
Well, like I said,
go to all real quick, man.
Yeah.
Go to all.
it's more
We
on
can-
offense a little more now because we got
sometimes you can't just draft by need like that, dude. Sometimes you got to see who's on the board and see where a
Garrett
player
Williams.
position and take the player.
Well, there's
Yeah,
Garrett
and that's
Williams.
what I was just gonna say is that can most definitely be a player of need right now
Yeah.
because we're gonna be in the 109s, so it means you're getting equal. Nick, I don't like Nick as a linebacker. JL Skinner, we already got safety, so he comes off. The tight end Luke would probably be an option here, frickin'. But I probably would wait because I still think Kuntz is later. Andre Carter, I mean, there's no way he'd be here, but whatever. Stroll back down a little more. Or up, my bad. Stroll up. And then, hold on. You got Perry. You got Garrett. So, I mean, I would probably, if it's me, Perry isn't bad, so stroll down. So I'd probably go Williams, Perry, Carter. So right there, those would probably be where I'd go right now.
I kind of like Williams.
I'd probably go Williams, yeah, because I think getting the second corner is a pretty big need for us. I would say.
Yeah, Williams.
I forgot how big he was.
Are you good with that?
I could look him up though. Garrett Williams.
Can't remember his height, man. So
Oh,
I keep trying to think about it. I keep trying to think about it, but I can't remember.
So what do you want to eat, General? What do you want to eat?
We're really not getting our picks now.
Yeah.
Just one piece? Okay. So how tall is he?
I'm trying to find that out. Thing. Trying to see how tall he is. There. Should say his height.
As long as he ain't licking someone's nuts fucking head high like the midget porn, we're good to go. As long as his name ain't Hodges, I think we're fine.
Or
I mean, how hard is it? Just put Garrett Wilson motherfucking name for Stanford. I mean, is that Syracuse or Syracuse?
Yeah. Oh wait, here he is. He's 5'10". He's 5'10", 192 pounds.
Either pick him or Andre.
He's got
man.
big hands.
What has he got?
He looks like he should be a nickelback. He's got big hands. He's got 9 1/4 hands. So he's got some big hands for a guy that's 5'10". So, you know, like to have a corner with big hands. Though. He's got big hands, but though 9 1/4 inch hands. You know, I mean, my hands are just like close to 8 inches.
9 1/4 inches is how you say it.
Yeah, 9 1/4 inch.
9 1/4 coming up. 9 1/4 quarter.
So he got big paws for a small guy that's at 5'10".
Well, it's probably like, so basically to judge that, it's like basically how you guys would judge it is you would just add twice to your penis, and then that's what 9.5 inches would probably look like. So,
Look at this food, man. Dustin, you're supposed to be PB. Dustin,
hey, get on top of your shit, man.
who are we taking?
Motherfucker, but we've already talked about this shit.
Yeah, Garrett Williams.
I said
taking the
before
big
we
hand guy.
started- I said
Guys with
before
big
we
heads.
started this motherfucker,
plus
we were going to end up doing this shit.
They want us to go reject.
I want to do one more draft for this, as long as fucking Cortez can stay up with this shit.
Come on.
Stroll down a little bit. Oh,
Yes.
man, I fucking feel like something's in my eyeball.
You're making me dizzy.
I would take Williams, the linebacker.
Yeah, but we have too many linebackers, so we need a offense.
No, you could wait on offense.
Keep strolling.
I'm taking Kuntz.
Yeah, but he's at 126. We're at 140.
Yeah, but he'll be gone by 141, though.
That's fine. We're at 141. That's our pick right now.
Oh, yeah, we're at 141. Yeah.
So I'm going to take Kuntz, and then I'm going to take Max Degger.
Yeah, I would look at where he's at right now, but yeah.
Ready?
He'll be at 144.
It should be an A grade right there when you take tight end. Yep.
I would just look at where he's at right now.
Let's see.
We got Tanner all that up there.
Quarterback. Let's see.
Oh, shit. Look where he dropped to.
I'd probably just go one more round, man. There's a lot of quarterbacks still there. I'd probably go one more round.
Yeah.
One more pick. I'd go one more pick. So pull off of there and go back to all.
Let's wait for his computer. Nope,
Go back to all. Go back to all. See, I mean, we end up with a lot of linebackers.
I'd go wide receiver.
I mean, I would take Noah. I mean, that's a no fucking brainer.
Noah.
But scroll down.
Give me 1 second.
Fuck, it'll give you 1 second.
Man.
Every second.
Might pass out by the time he comes back.
Sure, I'm making something for General. Dustin.
Nick, what are you making?
Oh, she wanted some raisin. Farther down?
Yeah, further down, a little bit down more.
Just go. Yeah, we're at 144, dude.
Running backs.
I'd keep rolling. Keep rolling down.
Wide receiver. There's check.
We got more.
Javier Hutchinson.
Xavier.
Yeah.
I mean, he can either take any of them offensive player linemen, or I mean, Sewell, dude. I mean, like Ziegler said, he can't let up on too many good players. So, my vote would probably be for Sewell here. I'd probably roll with Sewell there. I mean, we're not gonna get him at no 144. Like, that's not gonna fucking happen.
Yeah, I think Sewell would have been. Sewell would have been.
And it's not even 144, right? It's like 170 or.
No, 144 we're at right now.
Yeah, I would take Sewell here.
Yeah,
they'll give us the best linebacker. That's 3 linebackers. Yeah, they can fuck off on their grade.
All right, Sewell then.
I mean, I would take him.
Let's see what the grade is.
They probably gave us an F.
Well, if they give us a bad grade, it's because of position, not the player.
I mean, if we got all 3 of them, I wouldn't complain about it, dude. I'll just be honest.
You know what I'm gonna?
What grade did they give us for him?
Yeah, what grade did they give us? I bet you can see. They gave us a B plus.
Fucking dang.
I knew they'd give us at least a B.
Oh shit, he's still there, Dustin.
I'll get that quarterback.
Well, hold on. How many down?
He'll get
taken. I'd probably pull him now. I'd probably take him now.
Yeah.
Or Connell, or the player above him.
Who do we want more?
I prefer Max Duggan if it's me. I just don't. I know they're
prefer
going to
Duggan
probably give him
too.
CB grade here, but
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
still take him here because another team's going to take the motherfucker. I mean, we've done this hell of time.
Ready?
Yeah.
Gave us a
A,
C.
C grade. Yeah. Well, that was better than last time. They gave us a D grade.
Oh, when you guys did it?
Yeah, but if we don't fucking pick him here, then the next round he's gone.
Yep.
Yeah, so what position?
I'd go wide
I don't
receiver this time.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I would be looking at Moreno Copper here. Is this the 6th round?
Woo! I'm taking him here. I'm taking Moreno here.
Moreno.
I mean, I would take him in the 6th round. That's where I would.
You mean?
I've said it, dude. Like, he can be
Jalen
even in
Copper,
the 5th. He can even be in the 5th.
But the only reason that we say Moreno, because this year he added Moreno to his last name. And that's what he wore. Jalen Moreno Copper. So are we gonna draft him?
Oh no. The running
I mean,
back
in
was-
real life, but if we were in real life, I'd probably go draft West Virginia wide receiver before I drafted him.
This one?
Yeah, I'd probably draft him before I drafted
Yeah.
Cropper right now for sure.
They'll give us an A grade if we get him.
So do we go with him or Moreno?
I mean,
Go
Moreno
with-
gets longer, but
Oh, man, it's
if you're looking at the grades, I mean, I would go to where's Moreno? Where's his grade at? Yeah, I mean, you're right at it, dude. I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
I'm
there's a
going
lot of
Moreno.
receivers there. A lot of receivers that come off the board here.
I'm going Moreno.
I'd even try to push it down the board. We're at 204, 214. But again, someone's preference, they can just get past. It's your call. He's 204, we're 203 or 203,
Probably a C
204.
plus. He'll be a C plus grade if we get Jalen.
Ready? Let's
Yeah,
do
Yeah,
it.
go ahead, do it.
I like him. I've put him there.
Oh.
Let's go. It's my
Not bad.
boy.
I'd probably look at O lineman here, but go to all real quick. Go to all. No, go to all. Yeah, and then scroll down a little bit.
This wouldn't be a bad.
Null's not a bad pick up there either.
Who?
Yeah.
The halfback.
Oh, no, Evan Neal. Yeah, bro, he
Oh.
ain't bad.
Evan Hall, Northwest.
Let me go run this real quick. Be right back.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, getting a running back won't hurt in the later rounds. Because Josh McDaniels wasn't too happy with some of his running backs.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, when you start getting into this and fucking shit, I mean, I would probably take Evan here. I mean, he's probably going to be the better player for a position that we would probably get.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a peanut butter sandwich.
Yeah.
Who are we going with? Yes.
Evan Hall,
Who? All right, I think that's how you.
running back. Oh man, my dog's got bad breath. Your breath stinks, dog.
Oh, we got an A for that. Where are we gonna go now?
I'd just look at all real quick.
Yeah. We could go for another tight end or another wide
I would
receiver.
go offensive lineman, but roll down, down.
No.
Yeah. I mean, that wouldn't be a bad pick there, either one of them.
Let's go with the
Oh,
smaller school.
Yeah, it's a late deal. I've
Shannon.
rolled with I would have went with Clemson, but Chattanooga might have it, so you never know.
Who do
Just
you want?
Clemson's more proven school. I mean, you're probably going to have a better chance of getting someone to. But hold on. I'm just saying that you'll probably have a better chance of success, but fucking Cleveland Farrell came from there and he sucks. So let's let's take a chance on Chattanooga. Fuck it, we're in the 6th, 7th. It don't matter.
All right, you ready?
Let's see if they give us an A grade. Let's see. Did they give us an A? Yep.
We're killing the draft.
Now it don't matter. We can get anybody we want. It doesn't matter anymore.
I would roll down here. Still.
Hey, I just want to. Oh, so irrelevant. These are all Bootsy tight ends.
Yeah, just go to all.
We can go another wide receiver.
No, we're good on receivers.
Well, it don't matter anymore now. Let's see.
Is this all or?
That's all. Too far down.
Zoom in a little bit.
Payne Durham.
All right, let's roll down.
Probably a
I
block
want
tight
to see
end.
if there's a certain player here that we can roll.
Ooh, Ronnie Bell.
Yeah, Bell's not a bad one.
Oh, shoot.
What happened? Oh, I'm telling you that wide receiver.
I like the Ronnie Bell.
No, roll back down. Scroll down.
Here's Ronnie Bell.
Bell is good, but this one right here, Bryce Ford Wheaton, man, he's not a bad player at all either.
So let's go with him.
Bell or him, but I mean, you got the Chris Rodriguez Jr. I mean, you got a lot of dudes here right here. Roll down though. Roll down a little more.
There's that Chris Rodriguez. We got him before.
My corner's right here.
Alex Austin. I mean, fuck, you can take him too. I mean,
yeah. This is our Mr. Relevant, our team.
Who?
Yeah, I mean, it's Alex Austin. Yeah, because it's last pick. So it's Alex Austin. It's
No, it's not our last pick.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, shit.
It don't matter who you get.
Wheaton or
Fine, let's go with
or
Wheaton.
Bell. It's Bell, Wheaton, or Austin.
Let's go with Wheaton.
I mean, Bell ain't a bad pick either, but I like Wheaton.
Bro. Wheaton is the Al Davis type of player.
Yeah.
I like Wheaton.
Is he speed?
Yep.
One? Okay.
All right, we're going with him.
For speed. Okay. The need for speed.
I gotta go grab my phone.
What was our picks? Or what was his? What was his?
He gave us a B plus. Wait, keep going. Oh, they gave us a C plus.
Yeah, because Bell was on the board. See, that's why I hate this stupid draft.
Hey, let me go grab my phone.
If we pick Bell, if we get Bell, he's A plus because he was projected on us. And I hate when they do that shit because they're just taking the best overall. Like Wheaton, if Bell's off the board, Wheaton probably A plus player, dude. Like easy A plus.
You know what? All that matters is that we got Christian Gonzalez. Nothing else matters after that.
Yeah, I've said I just care about the top 5 picks, really, for me. If we can get to the 5th round, like I said, if I can get Christian, Jack, or Brian Brees, that's second. Derek Hall, Darius Rush, Moore, Zach Kuntz, and Max, I'd be fine with that. And like I said, with these drafts, dude, they're not real because you're getting players, dude, that are in those fucking 2nd, 3rd rounds that would never be there. They would never be there.
Yeah.
Like fucking guy all the way at 70 at the 180 pick. Like, okay. Like that kind of shit's not happening in real life.
Yes.
I'm saying a player may fall a few rounds or something. Like they've had that happen before. I mean, I'm not going to say it's never happened in the NFL fucking career, but what I'm trying to say is they have a lot of the players that do that in these mocks. Lots of them. It's just that's not going to happen is all I'm trying to say. You guys can do another one real quick if you want, or we can hop off your call.
I'm
do a
just
fast
taking
one.
pictures of it. Hey, do you guys want to do one? Just let the sim do it.
Yeah, let the sim do it. Let's see what they get.
Yeah.
Just do fast and do all, or do the Raiders fast and then sim it.
Yeah. I think you accidentally left click it. That's why the blue highlights were on.
Yeah. That's right.
I do that a lot.
What the fuck? Now they're not gonna last anymore. Look, they got to check on this now, Dustin.
What? Listen, you just roll down.
Look,
McDonald's sucks.
Do you see that right there?
What? I see what?
Oh no, there was a little blue check mark right there, but it's
roll down. Yeah.
I hit the introduction.
And then just
Ready?
go up to the top. Yeah, go to the top and just put auto draft.
Yeah, there you go.
Did I fuck it
Unpause
up?
it. Unpause it.
I gotta restart.
Restart.
Oh,
It's probably because he started and it's on the pick. We should have just made the pick, but whatever.
Right.
But just go Vegas fast and then make sure you auto do it before. Make sure you put it up, yeah. Then put it on
do
auto. Yeah, now do it. Start it.
What's going on? Kevin Hart here. We're coming back with season 8. Cold as balls. That's right. I said it. I know what you're thinking. How many more of these are we going to do?
What the fuck are they doing?
Oh my God. Bianca. There's no, I don't want no problem. Don't you do it.
She's a little bit taller than you.
Don't you
so
say. The hell was that? Hello.
Hello.
How are you, Bianca?
I'm good.
Like Darius Rush, I told you, man.
Thanks for having me.
What do you mean?
Told you, Darius Rush.
This is major, all right? WWE is showing me a lot of love. A lot of wrestlers coming on here. I don't know if you noticed or not, but I thought about
We're gonna do
wrestling.
one
at
more
point.
and then we'll
They
head
probably
out.
feel it in my blood, right?
Oh shit, they got the receiver on this one.
In the tub, sit on the back first, okay?
I've said he's a good player, dude. They just don't value where you're getting
It takes
them.
me longer, okay?
Okay. You should be used to this by now.
Nope, never get used to cold.
They're not going to value him because of the players on
New
the
episode
board.
of Cold
That's
as
why I'm
Balls. I
saying
had
it's just
Bianca Belair on
bullshit.
the show, and oh my God, we are in for a treat. How is it like? Is it the real deal? Are you really hurting people with that?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't know because I've never taken
I don't
it.
like
but
this one.
Yeah, it actually makes a
Restart.
little bit of a
Let's do it
noise
one
in
more
the air.
time.
Let's see.
No, you ain't got to
Is
do it.
that you? Is that you with the Kevin Hart shit on the back, or what the
That's
fuck is that?
that's
I don't know.
Aaron.
That Kevin Hart shit fucking getting annoying. I'm trying to listen to a non fucking sounded
I
draft.
clicked on an ad by mistake. That's what he did.
Yeah, it might have been a
Fast,
fucking
fast.
ad.
Put it on fast. Yep, put it on fast.
Did I pick us?
I fucking hope.
Let me see. Yeah, dude.
Stroll up, dude.
Yeah, you did. Sometimes I get dizzy just watching this.
Fuck, I get dizzy because it takes so fucking long.
Oh, another fuck up.
Swear,
Oh, wait, no,
they got us picking the two retarded as fucking quarterbacks and then the whole deal. Fucking,
And then the same old lineman with the same fucking pick. I don't like this one.
This is what sucks. Monkey balls.
See, there's the D tackle I was saying in that round. So that's why I say he's there.
Oh, you're running. They gave us a D for the running back.
It's guess where they're taking him, dude. Like I keep saying, if there's a player on the board, that's above them and we're taking one below them, they're always going to give us a lesser grade. Look at that. They got him at the very last pick. All right, let's do one more. Hurry up.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I want to throw up just seeing that one.
Yeah, same. I kind of did in my mouth.
Yeah, forget that crossing X something. Just hit the enter draft. See what they get us. Ah, fuck. That's just even dumber.
Facts, Richard. That shit was disgusting, bro.
Man, this fucking draft is being disgusting.
What did you do? Did you put this shit on slow, dude? Like,
no, I put it on fast.
You didn't put it on speed fast. You got it on regular.
Yes, I did.
Let's go so slow.
There it goes.
Because my laptop's about to die.
Uh-oh.
Hey, salute Domenis. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah.
Salute Domenis, my bro Domenis. I seen you over there at our boy Dark Side. Or the Beast of the Dark Side. The DOB.
I hate when they fucking draft for us. Like, these fucking guys always pick shit-ass players, dude.
Yeah.
Voorhees.
You got the guy that fucking plays left guard, left tackle, but people will say, oh, he can play across there. I mean, I like it.
Got a Chris Brown.
Chase Brown.
Oh, Chase Brown. Okay, it's from.
He said, did somebody say Voorhees?
Voorhees.
All right, if you want to do one more, and then we call it night.
All
right. They pick another offensive lineman or another quarterback.
I'm gonna cancel that shit.
We're only gonna get X amount anyways. They'll make us stop for a minute after so many drafts. You can do as many as you want. They just stop you for like fucking 2 minutes or 5 minutes.
Yeah. Ready? Let's go. Bryce Young.
Bryce Young, what the fuck? We got a midget.
I better go put this shit up on the charger. Who do they give us? O-line to help us.
That guy's been picked there every time.
I mean,
every time that we drafted, I noticed that he's
any of them. I mean, we're not going to re-sign Rock-A-Sin, you know.
Oh, should I paused it? Oh, yep. See, they took the offensive lineman.
And most mock drafts project us taking a corner.
See Dexter again. Dexter's there again.
Plus, that mock draft needs to get a little updated because of the Aaron Rodgers trade, too.
These guys need to quit
it's
giving
been
such
updated already.
They need to quit giving such shitty-ass fucking
draft
picks. I mean, I wouldn't have. I ain't even picked no players like that the whole entire time. And the whole time that we've drafted.
Garbage.
I mean,
I'm
I-
done
What
with
the-
this bullshit.
Someone's
Either
having
way, man, I
something
think we got to
on-
hop off anyways, man. Like
Yeah,
I said,
thank you,
appreciate all you
bro.
guys.
You're all
Yeah. Yeah.
Appreciate all you guys showing up tonight, man. Appreciate
Yeah.
the chat being here. Appreciate everybody on the panel, man. We
Yeah.
really enjoy everybody being here week in and week out. We're going to be doing a few more drafts. We only got, one more live before the
Hey,
draft.
hey,
We'll
what are
go
you guys
live here at the
doing
draft
tomorrow
just for
evening?
reactions, but
Dustin?
outside of that, we won't be. We'll just be live Wednesday. Say again.
What are you guys doing tomorrow? You want to do like an hour show tomorrow?
Yeah, we can.
What about you, Rudy, on my channel?
I know. I'm not promising anything, but maybe. But
All right, I'll send you the link
I
on
mean-
Discord.
Oh, like I said, I'm doing gardening. I did some gardening earlier today. So
No,
you never know.
no. Towards the evening, like around
Evening?
6.
Oh,
It says arrest warrant issued for Nate Diaz after choking out the man in New Orleans park.
Oh.
Fucking guy shouldn't have talked shit. Hey, shouldn't have talked shit to him, man. That's why he got
Was it
fucking
that-
choked out. Jake Paul lookalike
Jake
motherfucker.
Paul?
That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
the
just showed
lookalike.
him. He just showing Jake Paul a preview of what was gonna happen
Yeah.
before. But outside of that, man, hey, I appreciate all of you guys coming here. Outside of that, man, stay safe. Don't drink and drive. If you do, call an Uber. Fucking sleep it off. Like I say, it ain't worth killing someone else's life, man. So outside of that, if you guys got something to say, if not, we're bouncing up out of here, man.
well,
Yo, we're out.
Later,
All right,
everyone.
salute Raider Nation. See you guys maybe tomorrow
yeah,
on the Nation's Nightmare YouTube channel. It's in here.
yeah.
It was posted a long time ago.
Yeah, facts. Go to the Nation's Night. What time?
You want to do at 6?
7, probably 6, 7.
Yeah,
Yeah,
7,
either way.
6 or 7 for like an hour, and I'll drop the
All right.
link.
Yeah, just head over to his channel, man. If you ain't sub there. If probably hop on there, talk for about an hour about some football. Don't know what about yet, but probably do some mock drafts, things like that. We got a lot of things to do right here before the end of this week, man. Like
Yeah.
I said, Thursday is the day, man. So
Yeah.
get your draft boards together, get your players, and let's see what
Yeah.
happens, man.
Yeah.
Did you put them in there, Cortez?
What?
We're good to go and bounce out.
Yeah, let me just drop my link real quick.
How do you feel about what?
Oh, the Lakers winning, he said.
Lakers won. How do you feel? I mean, fuck, I already knew they were gonna win. I said we were probably taking them in 4. We're gonna get them in 5.
Yep.
Hey, I can't wait for 2 more nights.
Can't wait till we play them Warriors and them home.
You are not gonna.
You want to bet? How much?
Or
I'll
just
just bet
do a
you.
fine
I'll bet
thing.
you. I'll bet you a G real quick, man. Just real quick. Quick G.
There's my YouTube channel if you guys want to subscribe and go over there. We'll be over there tomorrow. I'll send some invites. And and then I'll drop the link up in the chat. But yeah, see you guys all tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
All right, man. Outside of that,
And then our
outside
next
of
show is at 7 p.m.
7 p.m. Pacific,
West Coast.
10 p.m. Eastern
Yep, Eastern.
on Wednesday.
Yeah, but tomorrow we're gonna do one
Yeah.
on my channel at 6 or 7.
All right.
All right then. Salute, Raider
Outside of
Nation.
that, love you, nation. Stay
We're
safe,
at
and
much love
see
to
you on
everybody.
Wednesday. Back on here tomorrow on Cortez.
Yeah.
Like.
All right, late.
Wake up to the sounds of the silence that allows for my mind to run around with my ear up to the ground. I'm searching to behold the stories that I told when my back is to the world. Was smiling when I turned.
I tried to the top, I've been out of shape, thinking out of box, I'm an astronaut. I blasted off a planet, rock that caused catastrophe, and it matters more because I had it. Now I had a thought about wreaking havoc on an opposition, kinda shocking. They want a static with position, I'm automatic, quarterback, I ain't talking shit.